'Cause in the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman. In the spire, as we dream by the fire, we'll frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. Alrighty. I have a video lined up. We have zombies to grind. All is well with the world. And I think I can get done tonight with Opal. I should be able to anyway. And then from there, it won't take long actually, to be honest. This is a
I'm
video
sure you've
about
seen this meme
Ethan is
before. It
online.
reads, sentenced to 40 minutes of left-leaning like a video essay commentary video. Yeah, that's Ethan. That's Ethan's newer content in a nutshell. You got classics like, this megachurch pastor can't stop flexing.
Can't stop flexing. That's true.
Mess. The
That's
bizarre depths of the
true, bro.
TikTok shop, and how the right made dangerous planes a race issue. The type of content you leave on in the background and still be bored of. There's a lot of these videos I could go over, but there's 3 infamous ones I'll cover here. First is his video, The Groomer Narrative is a Lie. Here, he attempts to criticize conservatives who label anything LGBTQ related as grooming. Now, it is valid for him to criticize those who overuse the term groomer to generalize.
I wish I had slugs on this.
However, this falls flat the more you watch the video. He tries to spin conservatives as the real predators, which stigmatizes them in the same way he claims they stigmatize gay and trans people.
In 2023, any fucking freak bozo, no matter who they are, can pop up on your YouTube screen and talk about how fucking trans people are bad, and buy my t-shirt that says trans people are bad, and now we can start talking about really creepy shit about children now, because we're talking about trans people. Conservatives just, you know, they have children on their mind all the time. You can't blame them for wanting to talk about children every chance they get.
This isn't the only time he does this, by the way, because then Ethan uses his expert research skills to completely own the show.
Yes, Ethan is online has expert research skills. I agree.
Study on demographics of people in sex offender registries all across the United States. For some reason, the sex offender registry, I don't think, keeps track of sexuality. They had to survey people on the sex offender registry to even get the data. So right from the top, basics. 80% of the people in this registry are straight. I think we're done, right? That 96% of them are men, and about 40% of these straight men sexually abuse their own family members, compared to just 24% of queer people. Interesting.
Alright, let's look at that study Ethan was referencing, because holy crap, he's clueless. I'll link it down below if you want to see it for yourself. What Ethan fails to mention is that there isn't a 50-50 split in the population size of straight people and LGBTQ people. According to the UCLA Williams Institute, who also published the other study Ethan is using, as of December 2023, around 5.5% of adults in the US consider themselves LGBTQ. Even if high estimates, it's 7.1%. With that in mind, this data literally shows that LGBTQ people commit sex crimes at roughly 3 times the rate of straight people. One of the paragraphs above this chart literally says this, but Ethan completely ignores this. So in an attempt to show gay people don't commit sex crimes at higher rates, he shows a study that completely proves that wrong. He does show that LGBTQ people have a higher rate of being incarcerated, but says it's because of oppression. He never shows valid proof for this, it's just an assumption. I'd be willing to believe him if he does have evidence. I don't know if this is stupidity, or that he's intentionally twisting the truth to make his side look better. It's hilarious because right before showing this study, he was super cocky.
But yeah, sure, let's say that there is any sort of legitimacy behind the idea that gay people are grooming kids. Not that there's any fucking study to support that ever, but, you know, if that's the narrative we're going with, we're gonna have to talk some facts and logic. So if you're a conservative watching, this is the part where you're gonna turn off the video. I know you guys aren't really huge on facts and logic, so make sure to press subscribe.
That's funny coming from Ethan's online.
And nobody in his audience realized it. It wasn't until half a year later when Think Before You Sleep looked into that study and pointed out how wrong Ethan is. Ethan then digs deeper into calling conservatives groomers.
It's no news that the Catholic Church is full of creepy freaks. We already know. Everyone knows. But all of these conservatives all say the same shit about gay people. And listen, if you're friends with pedophiles and you say the same stuff as pedophiles, I don't know if you're all that guy. I don't know.
He tries to conflate that all Catholics are pedos or pedo defenders, listing off a few examples.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
named John Roach.
It's kind of a joke,
Who love,
you know.
hurting children. Let's talk about John Roach. John Roach was a Catholic archbishop in the Twin Cities from the 70s until the 90s. Listen, I know I said Catholic, and yes, it's exactly what you think. It is pretty extensively documented how much of a pedophile defender Archbishop John Roach was. He literally had the sexual assaulter of multiple boys sign a contract that said, don't go to the youth group because you're a mega pedophile.
Wait, repeat that?
Literally had the sexual assaulter of multiple boys.
So, your example of a Catholic
Police.
conservative being a pedo defender involves
Police
them
outside
protecting
my
the
door.
molesting
Not
boys.
really. Don't worry about it.
So, a gay guy. You were once again arguing against yourself. Could you not find one case of a straight Catholic pedo? And I love that he's conflating all Catholics as conservatives, since the majority of them are either Democrats or have no political leanings. Instead of dismantling a groomer narrative, he spreads a different one out of pure spite. A completely hypocritical move that doesn't dismantle the supposed lies of his opponents, but instead vilifies them. This whole video is just...
No, that's, I mean, that's modern political takes, really.
Instead of meeting down the middle,
It's not to make
Ethan
your
does
side
exactly
look
what he
better,
calls
it's to
out
make the
others
other side
for,
look worse.
overgeneralizing. During last year's IDubbbz drama, Ethan would weigh in with, the response to IDubbbz apology is gross. Now if you want the full context of what he's talking about, go check out my IDubbbz documentary. To keep things short, Ian, or IDubbbz, got into drama last year for his disastrous charity boxing event, which involved drama of one of the fighters, Froggy Fresh. During the midst of this, Ian apologized for his old edgy content, which involved him jokingly using some no-no words. Many criticized this apology for the timing and how performative it was, as he treated this old content as a burden he'd have to deal with for the rest of his life. In my opinion, Ian was doing this to purge his channel of his older audience, since they were critical of his recent actions. Ethan would be one of the few YouTubers to defend Ian, using it as an excuse to go after a few commentary channels he didn't like. One of those was Sensitive Society, who he mainly just calls unfunny while being unfunny himself. He also claims that IDubbbz fanbase is radicalized to an extreme level.
You just made YouTube videos. It's not that serious.
He made videos that weird, sick freaks like Sensitive Society praised and took so seriously and held him on such a pedestal. That's why this video is even able to exist, is because people took his content to such a weird, unhealthy extreme.
I find this funny because Ethan himself was a fan of Ian's old content, stating this in the intro.
I used to be a fan of old IDubbbz, and I was also very ignorant while I watched that content as well. And as someone who was
That's funny.
radicalized, I think this video that Ian put out is pretty important. The perspective of someone who participated in right-wing radicalization and racism on the internet having changed over time is a really good example to set.
Again, Ethan wasn't de-radicalized. He shifted to the opposite extreme. Just because Ian said some edgy shit doesn't mean he was far right. Even Hassan Piker, someone just as radical as Ethan, doesn't think Ian was alt-right.
It didn't seem like you were, you know, any different than any other content creator on YouTube in that same era. As a matter of fact, you were probably like more towards the center or left.
Yeah, I'd argue that was what IDubbbz was.
You were shitting on the most like right-wing content creators of that era.
Okay, that last part was stupid, but you get what I mean. I guarantee you Ethan was never far right-leaning. He just found edgy humor funny and saw others shift away from that to be more socially acceptable. Ethan
No,
then moved on to
he
nitpicking the
moved
jinx
at precisely the most
This
opportune
is
time.
the
That was
secret
IDubbbz's
formula
whole
for
thing.
Maintaining a positive like-dislike ratio while producing terrible content.
What the hell does he have written behind him in the back there, where he needs to have a script with him for this video? He's not saying anything. He's not saying anything about the content. He's just saying like, man, he has a different bucket hat in every video. Okay.
Ethan, it's a comedy video. He's making jokes. Something you clearly don't know how to do besides being snarky. Ethan then briefly
Yeah,
mentioned
that's,
a few
I
other
mean,
channels like
that's
Pavlos
all
and
Ethan
Jamari.
is.
Getting offended at a sex worker joke made it a ladder.
If I were down bad enough to buy her OnlyFans,
Make the
I'd
most
rather
bad
have
faith
a
take
shit.
possible on
That's a
whoever
fucking
you're
hideous
discussing.
way to act, and a really gross way to think about
Make a
women.
bad joke
And
about
you're
them
definitely not
that's
the cringe, creepy
secretly
weirdo
just
here.
a criticism in
Ethan's
disguise
girlfriend
that
has
you
an
can
OnlyFans.
maybe just pass off as a
Lastly, he
joke
covers a
later.
video by Diesel Patches, though it's not even about Ian's apology. It's a video made a month prior looking back at Ian's sex workers video.
You can tell Ian kind of lost his composure a bit. He's all fucking red-faced, and at one point in the video, he makes fun of a 15-year-old kid to defend his queen.
First of all, the crowd that is defending saying the N-word is mad about someone pointing out a 15-year-old's looks. I think that 15-year-old deserved it. He never should have brought up Ian.
Jesus Christ.
Weird.
Mr. Bullying isn't okay thinks it's valid for a massive YouTuber to mock a 15-year-old.
Bullying is bad, unless I say it's good, and then it's good.
Society about Fuzz 99.
Why do you care?
I fucking hate people like Ethan online. They take
feel like
They
you
don't
need to
have
then-
positions. They
then
don't
be
have
silly.
fucking
But why are
beliefs.
you-
They have
Okay, so but then you keep making
fucking,
videos
I don't
to
know.
tell them to stop.
I don't know what they have really. They just
Like, why
change
does it-
constantly.
like,
They have
I know you're
constantly
just doing it for the back. I know
changing
you don't really
hypocritical
care that much,
views,
but, like,
and it's annoying.
mean.
I
It's
hate
mean
them.
to do, and you have mean takes when you say things about them.
I mean, it's a public platform, right? And you upload it yourself, and anyone can talk about it, just like
Yeah,
I've done.
so it's okay to bully because it's a public platform.
That is
No,
literally
I'm
not
just
what
saying
he
you're
said.
putting it out there, and when you're putting out everything, you're bound to get some backlash and extreme. And on top of that, if you're being
It's okay to
extreme,
criticize
know,
someone if they're
like
putting out
Fuzz 9
public
99
content.
is, or whatever the fuck his
It's
name
okay
is.
to bully if they deserve it.
So Ethan thinks it's wrong to make fun of a trans person for being cringe, but it's okay to make fun of a 15-year-old for making jokes about a public figure. It's just inconsistent. And I guarantee you, Ethan only thinks it's okay because the 15-year-old is making fun of a sex worker. Diesel would respond not too long after. Don't get on Ethan for this retarded take.
I think that 15-year-old deserved it. He never should have brought up Ian's wife. That's fucking weird.
No, what's weird is getting butthurt by what a 15-year-old says that you display that kid's face in front of your millions of fans to be made fun of. That's actually the opposite of maturity and growing up. That's called being an insecure loser. If you're an adult and you have millions of followers online and some random minor nobody gets under your skin, then you need to log the fuck off and go outside.
Sometime after this, Ethan would delete the video.
Yeah.
After mentioning it in a previous video, it randomly appeared on the Internet Archive, so I uploaded it myself. That's how bad this video is, even by Ethan's standards. Then
That's
we get to one
funny.
of Ethan's most mocked videos, You're Wrong About Modern Art. It's a 40-minute pretentious clusterfuck where he tries to convince his audience that modern
Damn.
art is cool, and he must be a right-winger if you think it sucks. This logic completely contradicts another big point Ethan pushes, which is that art is subjective, and you should be willing to hear out other people's perspectives.
Yeah,
But
I
something
don't.
happened on the way
Is
to the 20th
I
century.
liked EFAP's take on it really.
Profound, the inspiring,
Even if they missed the
beautiful,
overall criticism that you could have taken, which was, yeah, it's hypocritical to say that art is subjective, and then say that somebody's perspective on art is objectively bad because you just said it's subjective. So why
The
could it
issue
be
is that Ethan
objectively
is like
bad?
the perspective of right-wingers, saying that their takes on modern art are negatively influencing people.
Art is subjective, not in a I think this is good and I think this is bad way, but in a way that's unique to everyone. Your appreciation of
Exactly,
taste in
that's the
art is
point.
reflective of your
And you even
subjective
ignore that.
experience, your identity, your personality. These are all factors in observing art. And I think it's far more important to experience and think for yourself rather than letting narratives dictate what you think.
Yet in the same video, he shits on classical art as if it's objective truth.
Yeah, this little tea-girl Jesus is the most expensive painting in the world from Leonardo da Vinci. It's not even finished. Hair does not look like that.
Well, if all art is subjective, then why are you stating as a fact that the Da Vinci painting is unfinished? That would be an objective statement. He clearly doesn't understand his own logic, and is only saying all this shit to sound pretentious. He shits on classical art, and then praises modern art like a white canvas, a giant rock, a pile of boxes, and a fan. Ethan's reasonings for liking these pieces is due to their backstory, not how good the art looks. He likes the fan because the person who owned it died from AIDS. Yes, that's why that fan is considered art. The main reason this video gets a lot of flack is because he tries to conflate Charlie as a useful idiot for the right. Ethan asserts that all art is political, which is a dumb statement once you think about it.
That's
You can
retarded.
literally make anything
I'm
political if
sorry.
you try hard
I
enough.
can't
I'm sure
defend
Ethan
that.
can do a 40-minute video explaining how this thumbnail is right-wing propaganda.
Of course, there's a political component, right? All art is inherently political, either in its
Fucking-
influences,
okay.
messages, or implication. 101
What
guys
is the
say,
politics
art
of
is
Jaden
just
Animations
political,
art?
but
Because
a
I
lot
don't
of
know. I
people
just had
love
that pop in
right-wing
my head from
propaganda
the
cloud
thumbnail
their
there.
judgment of modern art, whether they realize it or not. All because it helps them feel better in not wanting to engage with. In an ideal conservative world, art is interpreted for people through a YouTube video full of lying.
That is literally not even. That's not even their
emotional
take though. That wasn't the
manipulation,
PragerU take.
false comparisons, But this happens every day.
Ethan, that's literally what you're trying to do here. Because right after this line, he tries comparing PragerU, a conservative propagandist group, to Moist Critical, a video game streamer.
PragerU has made at least a dozen videos fooling your old grandpa about modern art. All of them are completely nonsense and wrong. But why is it then I hear the same boring, shallow, fragile talking points from people who should be way more in touch with culture? Listen, yeah, I know his face is in the thumbnail, and yeah, this video is kind of about Charlie. But listen, it's not personal. I'm trying to compare content that realistically should have nothing
He's
in common.
he's. I mean, Moist Critical's take was from the whole thing about it being from a normie perspective of what is art. Like, art is something that looks cool, that has, like, you know, that creates some kind of feeling by watching it or
Charlie
something.
doesn't watch PragerU for his art analysis content. He probably didn't even get the talking points from them, but they're still saying the same thing. Charlie
That doesn't.
an average guy,
Okay,
an average
so
brain is Florida average, but
Charlie is
but it's
pushing
uncanny how similar
PragerU's talking points by saying relatively the same thing.
content that we
He's
all
pushing
know
right-wing
is solid.
propaganda by
This is
saying
like a
relatively
lucky
the same
argument.
thing.
Oh, this normal person said this thing? And who else said that thing? This extremist group.
They must have
could
the
say
same
Hitler
political
took water
views.
type
They
argument.
must.
Charlie not liking modern art doesn't mean he's a useful idiot for the right. It means he has a common opinion. He shows Charlie giving objective takes about modern art, which is clearly just him joking with his audience. Ethan doesn't care and goes after him
What is this, a
anyways.
banana
The
tip
video
the
keeps
wall? What the
going
fuck is
and
this?
Charlie keeps saying that it wouldn't be that hard to make a Jackson Pollock painting.
None of them have the energy, the spontaneity, and the sheer skill in handling paint that he has.
Oh, very skillful.
Does he see how much paint is on this? It's covered, and it's really big. Like, especially if it's on the ground, he had to walk around and on it. He could swing his whole
Oh my,
arm
this is a
and still
horrible
be
point.
painting on his canvas.
I'm pretty sure anyone can do that.
Yeah, anybody
Look
can
at
do
it every
that.
night.
I know it may be hard for Ethan's online to walk around, but, you know,
So just like with
some
Oscar,
people do it.
Ethan is saying that having a decently common opinion and discussing it on your channel will lead viewers down the alt-right pipeline. That's his strategy. He's got to make everyone outside his worldview seem dangerous. This is Lex Updog, a Twitter artist and OnlyFans model I mentioned a few times in this video. She would occasionally collab with Nick and Ethan around spring of 2022, with her currently dating Ethan. On July 27th, 2023, she would post the video, My Experience of Dawn Doctor and Super Mega. Here she relays her time living with the members of Super Mega, a let's play and sketch comedy channel with around 1 million subscribers. Lex's video served as the catalyst for a multitude of negative allegations regarding the company, which came from Lex's friend Rav, an ex-employee named Leighton, a sex worker named Morgue Pie, Nick is not green, and Ethan is online. Now, this might sound a little crazy, but it's always been my opinion that Ethan is the mastermind behind this entire scandal, and let me lay out why. So it all starts with Lex's video, which is 2 hours long. Since there's so much, let's go over her main claims. The biggest is that Lex was sexually assaulted by Super Mega's channel artist, Dawn Doctor, and this event was covered up by the company. She tells the story of her relationship with Dawn, meeting him online around 2018 and soon dating him. They wouldn't meet in person until late 2021. As they both do art for the book, Super Mega Saves the Troops. And for those wondering, the book is about the founders of Super Mega, Matt Watson and Ryan McGee, trying to kill Osama bin Laden. Both Lex and Dawn would say at Matt's house, where Lex claims she was
Okay,
sexually
that's actually
assaulted.
pretty funny.
Her
I
and
like
Dawn
that.
wouldn't talk about it until half a year later at Creator Clash, where Dawn was remorseful and didn't think of the event as assault. She would soon tell Matt and Ryan, though claimed that the latter was more interested in preserving the Super Mega business. Lex even says Ryan referred to the company as his magnum opus. She says Super Mega were actively covering up the assault, and there was even a mishap where Dawn and Lex were at the Super Megaplex at the same time. Dawn would eventually be fired, as Matt and Ryan believe Lex's story, though she claims they grow distant over the next year. Lex also claims she was sexually assaulted by Jim, another Super Mega employee. After a party at the Super Megaplex, Jim gets Lex to open up about the Dawn situation. Lex herself says that he was drunk, and he started flirting with her after she told her story. They make out, and he walks over to an office closet, getting her to come in with her to continue kissing. My question is, if she didn't like this, why did she go to the closet with him? She acts like she has no choice here. Also, Jim was drunk by her own words. He wasn't in the right headspace. The third major claim is that Matt and Ryan made her homeless. They were letting her live at the Plex rent-free, though she complained about how much of a mess it was. Her and her friend Rav would go on a road trip across the west coast, where their Jeep would get robbed. She claims Matt and Ryan laughed about that behind her back. Lex was basically wasting all her money on weed and Uber Eats, becoming a freeloader who didn't contribute much to Super Mega. I mean, she wasn't even an official employee of the company. Matt and Ryan nicely
Wait,
pushed her to
what?
move out,
Really?
and even offered to pay rent on a new apartment so Lex can get back up on her feet. She declined, and begrudgingly moved back to Tennessee. That's pretty much the whole video, though Lex throws around other random claims to make Matt and Ryan look as bad as possible.
My birthday was a couple days after, and pretty much no one came to it. Nothing against anyone, really. It's when I started to realize that things were weird.
She's just flinging shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
And never takes accountability for her own actions. She always
It's
blames
weird.
someone else,
I don't know.
even claiming Dawn forced her to leak her own nudes.
he like would message me and ask me if it would be okay if I would send him like the files from the Patreon, and I would be like, you mean like the old ones that you're sub to? And he was like, no, like new ones, or like all of them. I didn't want to, but my boundaries were so poor. I said yeah anyway. Like at this point we had talked enough that I thought he liked me, so I was trying not to assume poorly of him, because I just genuinely didn't think he would do that, and then he did. So he was like letting me leak my own nudes to him.
After this, Rather posts his own statement supporting Lex. Layton, another Super Mega employee, would go live on Twitch to tell his story. He claims the duo were homophobic to him, would sexually harass him, and that Matt would misgender his partner. Morgpie also did a stream, saying she had a one-night stand with Matt. She also says Matt was cheating on his girlfriend during this, and names that girlfriend for no reason at all. Then, on the 29th, Nick Is Not Green would make a video detailing the entire situation.
This is a bit fucked
It's
up.
incredibly biased and features multiple personal attacks against Matt and Ryan.
And my favorite post right here says, rape apologist gets what he deserves. And it shows Matt getting the absolute shit beaten out of him. Let's just let it play a couple more times. We can keep watching.
Why do these people all look the
I don't
same?
think anyone minds letting this loop on
I'm
repeat. We can just let
getting
this go.
premonitions.
If you want me to do this for the rest of the video, I could.
Ethan wouldn't get involved until the 30th, when he did a live stream with Lex on his second channel. It's been deleted, but parts of it are archived by YouTuber Queeman. His analysis is pretty spot on. During the entire stream, Ethan displays Super Mega's sub count, laughing with glee as it keeps going down.
But as you can see on the stream, he's decided to put Super Mega's live sub count on the screen, because that's what, you know, normal people do when their girlfriend has been raped.
Ethan pulls up a custom-made Super Mega Apology bingo, awaiting their responses to the situation. Lex would soon join him, smoking weed and bragging about taking down Super Mega. They promote Nick's video on the situation, citing it as the best coverage of the story.
What happened with Super Mega? Listen, Nick made a video about it, but all you need to know is that they're bad. Go to their subreddit. There's plenty of information.
What a sack of shit, man. What a sack of shit. But Nick, my friend Nick made a video about it. You can go watch that. It's called Super Mega is full of horrible people. All you need to know is they're bad. Just listen to me and accept. Bro, this fat fucking freak.
Google Super Mega subreddit. Go there, man. Look at anything. Look at the first post. It's been trending all weekend. It's funny how fast everyone turned on Super Mega. Yeah, and I think that goes to show, right? Kind of self-fulfilling in a sense.
Ethan also promotes his new music of Queef Jerky, calling it the Song of the Summer.
Pineapple Upside Down's blowing up. Yeah, it's the song of the summer. That's why. No, that's great. Pineapple Upside Down's banging.
Filming that one with him.
Yeah, we filmed that together. My first music video I ever made, and I basically like directed it. I had so many shot ideas, and Nick gave me the director's credit. So 143K. It's basically just the song of the summer. It's just.
Y'all smoking mid, bro? Every day. I love smoking mid.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Is that it? Are they done?
I love smoking mid.
Me when I get a lobotomy.
You sure you haven't had that lobotomy yet, Lex? This stream reveals Lex and Ethan's true intent, to ruin Super Mega. Instead of focusing on the
Oh, I need to do this, but I don't want to do it yet because the walleye. I'll just do it last.
These are
I want the
serious
PM9
allegations they are
or the
spreading,
Siren.
Yet they themselves don't take it seriously. And guess what? This isn't even Ethan's first attempt to cancel them. Before 2023,
What a
Ethan
pretty
was a
gun.
big fan of Super Mega. In fact, he
It
posted
looks
about the
really
boycott,
nice,
even
honestly.
trying to get
This,
Nick to go on
the
their
tube.
channel. Things soon changed in April 2023
As
when
well.
Layton got fired. He made various allegations against Super Mega, which Ethan happily spread on Twitter. Fans of Super Mega have been harassing my friend Layton non-stop after he came out detailing one of many disgusting cases of homophobia he and many others witnessed in their office. His is not the only story, and everyone defending them will look very, very stupid very soon. He continued with, I'm just as disappointed as many other fans, Layton included, but I refuse to make excuses for racist, entitled dipshits who hurt people. If you see people
You can give me
being quiet
something I
right
need.
after speaking
Just
on
give me the
things like
PM9.
this, remember how lawyered up YouTubers can be. Ethan also alludes to Chuck E. Cheese's middle name, a joke Matt and Ryan would tell. Since you're fucking stupid, I'll explain the joke. Chuck E. Cheese's middle name is the N-word of a hard R. A joke I heard multiple times while around their office, as have multiple other people. Nick would chime in, stating, sounds like a really cool fan base that constantly defends two white dudes who have a horrible reputation behind closed doors. Many ignored this, pointing out how unhinged Ethan sounds. One user even wrote, okay, and didn't Layton say an anti-Semitic slur? Good to know, you're willing to overlook anti-Semitism, Ethan. Great job. This was definitely an attempt to cancel Super Mega, though it failed due to how untrustworthy Layton is. Lex's story was a clear opportunity to try again, and it worked at first. Ethan would gloat on Twitter, harassing Matt by saying, "Hey man, saw your girlfriend post this on a private. Can't wait to see the response debunking everything instead of an apology." So Ethan is going after the guy's girlfriend, who, you know, isn't a public figure, the one who was brought up by Mordecai for no reason. The next day, he tweeted, "In case you missed it since you unliked it, tough guy over here was liking pics last night of Tony Soprano killing someone who ratted on him. Normal behavior from a guy who was knocked out in 20 seconds. I cannot imagine more pussy behavior." Jeez, talk about schizo posting. All he did was like a frame from a show he enjoys. Who cares? This isn't like when Noah Samson liked a tweet about wanting Vosh to be killed. This time, it's completely innocuous. Ethan is just trying anything at this point to make them look like freaks, when in reality, he's the freak. Matt and Ryan would finally respond on July 31st, making two
Oh my
separate
god, I
videos.
get the same
First
4
is
guns
Matt,
every
who admits
time.
that he could have handled the Dawn situation better. He claims that much of what Lex said was a misinterpretation of events, and that he could have been more clear to her. Matt showed evidence for this, and brought up how Lex didn't want any of this to be made public.
We never stated our reasoning for
we're
cutting
gonna-
contact with Dawn or removing him as the channel artist,
there we
because
go.
Lex had not publicly talked about this, and she expressed that she did not want this to be a thing that was public. We felt like it was not our place to
Okay,
address
just
someone
give
else's
me...
sexual assault and give that as the
Please,
reasoning
I beg of
for
you, just give me
removing
the
contact with
PM9.
Dawn. We figured that as long as he was gone and we weren't working with him, you know, that was our response. The last thing that we wanted was to bring attention to something that Lex did not want attention brought to.
Matt gives additional context to why they became distant with Lex and Rav, and says they did not try to make them homeless.
Shortly after they made the decision to voluntarily leave the office, we did not throw them out, we did not make them homeless. Here is a text message where they're talking about leaving the office.
He then addresses Mordecai's claims, saying he was single at the time. He showed proof that Mordecai knew they'd only be hooking up, but she grew feelings for him. She's unhappy that he didn't want to start a relationship, as if she isn't a massive e-whore known for constantly fucking other dudes on camera. She flat out lied about a ton of stuff, but that could be a separate video in and of itself. Matt then explains that he fired Layton due to his constant mood swings and poor work performance, though Layton had suggested leaving the company previously.
Oh my
He brings up
gosh.
the claims of homophobia, claiming that Layton encouraged these jokes and took part in them.
Here are screenshots from several occasions where I made sure Layton was comfortable with these types of jokes, to which he
Oh,
always
that's better,
replied
actually.
yes, and even in one message said it would be weird if we stopped. In this message, Layton says he sees no issues with the jokes. Here he says he feels more comfortable around us than anyone. And I said, real talk, we absolutely love having you as a part of Super Mega. You've completely revolutionized our company. Layton responds by saying, I love all the gay jokes you guys throw at me. And I said, you're a crucial member now. If they're ever too much though, just tell us. And he said, I'm so fucking happy to hear that. I fucking love working with you guys. Nah, you guys have never offended me. I think Justin is nervous that it'll come off as homophobic, but I love you guys and the gay jokes. It would be weird if you guys held back, LMAO. I jokingly said screenshotting all this to cover my ass, which he said LMAO to.
So yeah, those allegations Ethan were spreading were a fucking lie.
Shortly after, one of Layton's best friends, who is Lex's boyfriend, tried to instigate drama on Twitter by lying and saying that he has heard us say the N-word multiple times. In reality, we've only met this individual a handful of times, and it's mostly been at social events, and always accompanied by Lex. So to think that we would just casually be dropping the N-word with a hard R in front of not only someone who's a stranger, but also a woman of color, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He also mentioned the Chuck E. Cheese joke, and I don't think it's a coincidence that a short time before he posted this stuff, Layton replied to a tweet about Super Mega with a gif of Chuck E. Cheese. Layton denied that he even knew his friend was going to say anything, or that Layton was involved with this, but I think it's a little too coincidental.
Matt also shows text where Layton shit talks Reverend Lex, and then dives into the sexual harassment claims. This harassment amounted to crude jackass-style bits, which would involve open nudity. Layton never complained about this while working with them, and even took part in it.
In December, we were recording a podcast when he came in unannounced and showed us his cock and balls.
Late 20s, Chuck. Hey, Layton. Hey. Whoa.
Somebody's putting on
Do you see his balls? Layton, you want to come take a seat? Do you see his balls? I don't think it's appropriate for the podcast. You want to wrap yourself in a towel. That is a three-hander.
Now, if you want to criticize this behavior, that's fair, but Layton took part in it and weaponized it to lie. Ryan's video is much shorter and mainly discusses events from a specific point of view. He debunks Leighton's claims of misgendering, saying his partner is gender fluid. Oof, this guy who cries homophobia just misgendered someone. It's almost like the outrage is performative. Ryan does own up to a few things, like sexting fans, and how poorly he handled Lex's situation. However, the main topic of discussion here is Daniel Kyer. For context, Daniel was the former best friend of Matt and Ryan, who collaborated with them on their YouTube channel Syndigo. He would sadly commit suicide on September 16th, 2015, with it being a traumatic event for the duo. The accusers of Super Mega would weaponize this as a personal attack against them.
Matt's like at least twice in front of me, a separate time we'll hang out with him, has called Daniel a coward. So no, they don't care about suicide. They don't give a shit about suicide. They only give a shit about themselves and who they can make jokes of that are under them that they can get away with.
Lex brings this up because Rav's partner attempted suicide, which has nothing to do with Super Mega besides being a form of guilt tripping. Ryan addresses this, explaining the full story.
On September 16th, 2015, while Matt was in South Carolina and Mark was at work, I found Daniel unresponsive in his room due to an apparent suicide attempt. He was taken off of life support on September 18th of 2015. To address these allegations head on about me making fun of the suicide of my best friend, I just want to state that it's just untrue. The person making these claims never knew Daniel. They definitely were not a part of the group that experienced the trauma of losing him, and I think, honestly, it is disrespectful to bring him up as a weapon. I felt like he was just brought into the situation for drama's sake to try to...
These people are fucking deranged.
Or Matt, or hurt our image. I have done enough shit to tarnish my image, but I will not stand by and let someone talk lies about the way I talked or treated my trauma in regards to Daniel. The sole focus of all of this should have been about the support that Lex needed and about how we mishandled the situation. All of the attention should have been on Lex. Why Daniel was brought into it, I have no idea. I just wish personally he was left out of this completely.
Lex, alongside the rest of the accusers, were completely fine spreading this false narrative as a low blow. This went so far that fans of theirs were going to Daniel Kyer's goodbye video and other posts to leave mean comments. Most of these comments can't be deleted, since, you know, Daniel's not with us anymore. They clearly don't care about trauma, they just want power. Simple as that. Something that Matt briefly mentions is the conspiracy angle. At the time, it was lightly suggested that this is all one massive conspiracy to cancel Super Mega, with Leighton being seen as the guy on top.
A lot of people, mainly Leighton and his close friends, have used this as an opportunity to capitalize off of what was initially someone's story of sexual assault. It seems like the story lost its plot and quickly devolved into a dogpile on me and Ryan, when I don't think we necessarily were the focus to begin with, because it was about an assault.
However, I don't believe that. Leighton is way too mentally stunted to pull off something like this. It was Ethan. Think about it. Ethan immediately supported him and got Lex on board. He knew of her story and had her take her time in making that 2-hour video. Leighton got Mordecai involved since they're friends, and they were supposed to collab in the future.
Mordecai is someone that I met and didn't need to like me, you know, like didn't have to. But especially after all this crazy shit, she still was so sweet to me. And like wanted to record with me, and like she liked the idea of my show.
Lex and Ethan then reached out to Nick to cover it, since he had a much larger following. Nick at first denied this being a coordinated effort, stating this in his second video.
There is no way where I would look at that situation and
So he just
hear her
fucking lied.
story and do
Again, like he
people
always
think that just
fucking does
legitimately
every
she
time.
just wants to outright lie about the way they treated her for no reason? I don't really understand where people are coming from when they call me a liar with an agenda and they call her a liar with an agenda. Where do you guys think we're coming from? You think we're like a part of the Illuminati or something?
Yet in his next video on the topic, he said this.
Now Lex, the artist at the center of the story, is dating a close friend of mine who you are all familiar with. That would be Ethan is online. Lex posted her story and I was asked...
You don't think it completely benefits them, drama-wise, influence-wise, even politically, really?
And a few days later, I posted a video covering everything she said in the video, including following the reports of 2 other people who spoke out about Super Mega, one of them being a former employee of theirs who used to be friends with Ethan and Lex at the time of her video releasing.
So here, he flat out says that he was asked by Ethan and Lex to cover the story, a detail he previously omitted. Ethan also admitted on that Twitter post that Layton's story isn't the only one. How long had Ethan been planning this? And by the way, this tweet is still up. Ethan wants some form of power. He's this pitiful little
Yeah,
child who
that's
seemingly got
exactly
bullied
what
in
I
high
was
school
saying.
and now wants the ability to do that to other people. That's all he's doing here. He wants to justify bullying Matt and Ryan, going so far as to call out Matt's girlfriend. He's willing to slander these guys because a mentally deranged friend of his got fired. This was never about the sexual assault, as most of the conversation barely revolved around Dawn. And honestly, with all the other information that's come out since, I personally don't believe Dawn assaulted her in the first place. If she's willing to lie and over-exaggerate everything else, why would this be any different?
Yeah, exactly.
Following these responses, things started falling apart.
Why should I believe you if you've lied everywhere
I
else?
stopped addressing it, going back to sexualizing herself in front of her 13-year-old Twitch audience. All of Layton's accusations were proven to be lies, with even Lex throwing him under the bus. She'd soon unlisted her original video, and updated the description. Here she states that what Layton said in his stream wasn't okay, and that he did that stream while she was seeing a movie. I call bullshit on that, as the stuff he said about Daniel was said by her first. She's now trying to discredit him, after Layton pretty much left the internet and deleted everything. Nick would continue making videos, where he doubles down, yet keeps contradicting himself.
I have no agenda. If his art sucks, let's fucking dunk on him. He sucks. Countless comments of people calling me a liar and claiming that I posted about this situation and malice towards Super Mega. Let's just let it play a couple more times.
Yeah, really. Oh my fucking god.
I have not blocked any words. I have not suppressed anything, but I do not have any ulterior motive for my videos made on Super Mega. Really not something to be that proud of.
Holy
Seems like
shit.
Matt Watson is a 14-year-old boy, and he looks like it too. So Layden was a former merch designer for Super Mega, and was let go without Super Mega actually saying anything to their audience.
Nick truly showed me true friendship.
I don't like Layden. He was a reputable source. I came to find out that Layden was not a reputable source at all. My TikTok audience does not overlap with a dying Let's Play channel. Justin and Kelly have both taken Super Mega out of their bios. To know that they were willing to immediately disconnect and separate themselves from Super Mega, it says a lot. But I do not have any ulterior motive for my videos made on Super Mega. And if you don't remember Matt and Ryan, you might remember them from the first creator class.
The fact that you even have to say that as a red flag.
I was still a third party who made this video summarizing Lex's story. This isn't like an online, like normal thing where I look at all the facts. Of course, I'm gonna take the side of a personal friend of mine. I have no agenda. I have no agenda. I have no agenda. I'll
Jesus.
be back on Monday.
Various YouTubers and streamers, mainly Destiny, Turkey Tom, and Lyrics, began looking into the situation. They tore apart the whole thing, noticing all the lies spread by these ghouls. Nick would attack these guys by calling them Reddit debate dorks.
Today I'm wearing my scary shirt to make me look a lot more scary. There's too many Reddit debate bro dorks on this website trying to come after me
Yeah,
every single day.
just labeling like that because they fucking called out all your lies.
I'm so scared, Nick. He'd eventually start apologizing for his actions, meaning all the attention regarding the situation went to Lex and Ethan.
Yeah.
Lex was pretty much blocking everyone who mentioned her negatively in any way. She'd even like tweets calling out Nick's role in the drama. Nick was yet another person the duo backstabbed. Ethan stayed silent, and he'd stopped uploading to both of his channels for over 2 months. He was seemingly waiting for the hate to die down, which was noticed by both a Cheeto and Sensitive Society.
And on his last video, people are cooking him alive. I almost reached out to him via Twitter
Jeez.
DMs because I just want to make sure he's okay. And we go to the comment section, it's not looking too good. I mean, this person says delete this comment as well, which means he is active on social media. He just hasn't said anything. Why? Because him and his dumb girlfriend were celebrating the cancellation of Super Mega. They were smoking weed like the fucking badass kids they are, right?
Their videos from November 2023 really pissed off Ethan, so now it was time for him to take matters into his own hands. On December 6, 2023, Ethan would send Oscar the following DM. "What's up, bitch? Sounds like you have a lot to say about me online. You want to talk again? If not, get my dick out of your mouth and make some real content."
Oh, he was
Oscar posted
fucking
this with the
pissed.
caption, "Someone is mad." He then replied to this with, Ethan, how is your relationship with Nick is Not Green? Ethan responded with, bad. I thought you were the one making videos about how evil he is, or whatever. You clearly don't know your facts. Stop getting distracted by other people you want to clout chase from. This started a war. A one-sided war that Ethan got himself into over spite. Bro, your channel and Nick's are deader than mine, I don't need clout from either of you. You both are really good lolcows though, so everyone in the commentary community appreciates you for being dumb and pretty much ruining Nick's YouTube career. Also, can I get free tickets for your next concert? I'm a fan of beef jerky. Okay, so since you obviously don't want my clout, I'll make sure to keep an eye out for any videos about me. You won't make another one, surely. Ethan would then quote tweet the original post with, little bitch got involved in discourse about my partner's essay story, treating it like drama to speculate on, only because he was mad I outed him for being hella stupid. Yeah, a mad bitch. Didn't you get exposed by Turkey Tom and everyone else for being wrong, along with Nick? You're straight up having a mental breakdown right now, bro. You should chill out. I mean, I would too if I cost my friend Nick is Not Green his YouTube career. How do you feel about that? You're clinging on to whataboutism for dear life while still calling in your little gossip crew because you have nothing to say, bitch. Remember when you did a live stream saying this isn't to cancel Super Mega, and had the sub count going down while high as shit and laughing? Classy. Just like this response. Yeah, I thought it was funny they lost subs after covering up SA. It's funny when bad things happen to bad people. I deleted it because freaks and grifters use it to invalidate SA. No one did that. The story and how it was presented did that. You and Lex were not able to produce anything of substance after the disclosure of the Dawn stuff. Everything involving Super Mega
Oh
was
fuck,
necessary,
Kristen Ark.
and you both know it. The sideshow of Nick's videos, your shit livestream, Leighton being a dumbass, Morgpie and Rav all culminated in this. No one did this, other than you guys, and you all know it. I'm so confused by this discourse because people are covering it so confusingly. I am so confused, please help. I am dying of confusion. Just watch Lex's video. The idea that she's lying comes from nowhere, and her story isn't contradictory if you don't clip it out of context like many videos have. Don't listen to Ethan, he's full of it. If you want the truth, watch the Turkey Tom video. Around 3:48, Turkey Tom says Lex and Dawn met in 2021. This is completely incorrect and forms a totally different view of Lex's story. She does not say that. She admits they have been dating prior to then in her video. But Tom is stupid and didn't do basic research. Don't trust this. This is fucking retarded on Ethan's end. During that part of Tom's video, he clarifies that they met in person in 2021, and that they started dating online after 2017, so Ethan flat out lied here. I got a question. Why didn't you defend your girlfriend on your channel? Why did you have to beg your friend Nick for it, huh? I mean, it's your girl, right? You both were smoking together celebrating Super Mega going down. Why not post it to your channel? Bitch, I was already accused of grifting without doing that. Why would I? Why don't you answer my DM instead of stalking my replies, stupid? Sounds to me like you're a shitty boyfriend, Ethan. You put her on blast, and then when everyone exploded in your face, you blame everyone but yourself. Do you actually know how much pain you're causing people? Not only Lex, but a lot of other people. I don't know how you sleep at night. You're straight up a monster. LMAO says the drama worm who rips off the whole story. I didn't put Lex on blast. Dumbass YouTube video essayist did by getting the facts wrong over and over. I'm putting you on blast. Do you not realize how much of a villain you sound like right now? There's absolutely no way anyone is going to support you with the vile, childish way you're acting. Get fucked, as you like to say, bitch. Chipple Dipple will then post this video mocking Ethan.
This guy doesn't leave me alone. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to send him a little message, I guess. Well, let's see.
Oh my god.
It sounds like you have a lot to say about me online. You want to talk again? If not, get my dick out of your mouth and go make some real content.
Mess with the dog, you get the bite.
Ethan then questions why Oscar had to make the original tweet
Oh
in the first
no.
place, as if he wasn't being totally unhinged. LMAO couldn't respond before getting her dick writers and creepy little buddies to tell you what to say. Why are you being so mean towards me? I thought we were friends, what the fuck? Because you're a bad person, Oscar. I was too nice when we talked before, and you literally clip-chimped me for months, hahaha. I thought you were cool with bullying. I never said I was cool with bullying, what the fuck? That's insane. Of course not, I only put out positivity and love. Hugs, not bullets. Are you okay, Ethan? Are you on something at the moment? I'm mad at you because you talk out of your ass non-stop, so you can't actually address what I'm saying to you and you're just posting cringe instead. Back up what you actually think and post about it, bitch.
God, he
It
took
feels
that
like
so
you're having a manic
seriously.
episode right now, Ethan. I'm concerned for you. Cheeto, what do you think? LMAO, again, you can't defend yourself, so you call in the bitch squad. If you have shit to say,
Oh man,
say
he
it,
he
motherfucker.
literally doesn't
Why are you
understand what's
scared of
happening.
Cheeto? You always run when I bring him up. Who said I'm running away? I don't give a shit about irrelevant freaks I've never talked to. I'm talking to you, but you clearly have nothing to say. Oscar then replied with this glorious image. Ethan dares Oscar to show his face, as if he's ugly. Coming from this guy, it might be a self-projection. Cheeto would then join in, tweeting, "My video hating on you has more views than 50% of your own content in the past 2 months. If I'm irrelevant, what does that make you? I haven't posted in 2 months, so the past 2 months is a bad metric, lol. Outed yourself as being obsessed with hating me so much you couldn't even check what you were saying. Hahaha. Okay, little bro. So, make a video. Stop being a lazy chump. You called me irrelevant, and when I showed that I'm outperforming you, you said that you haven't posted. That's pure cope." This shit went on for an entire day, with Ethan constantly engaging with other critics. Lyrics asked if he can come on stream, with Ethan replying back, "Nah, I had beef with Oscar and I guess he didn't want it back. You are also a random person in my replies, you weirdo." Okay, enjoy your time arguing your girlfriend's alleged sexual assault of 100 follower shitters who just want to rile you up. Why are you still doing this? Surely you're aware this discussion isn't productive. Like, why now? And why are you sporadically responding to random people? He's trying to make up for not defending her for the past 2 months, so he can seem like a capable boyfriend. This dude is just actively begging for a ton of negative press on a story most people forgot, out of seemingly nowhere. I'm not sure what's going through his head, but he's just sabotaging his girlfriend's second video by spurting out. How can I influence people's opinions on a video that isn't even out yet? I'm sure it's just a coincidence the Super Mega story has been all over my timeline again all day today when it's been basically dead for weeks. Ethan pretty much replied to everyone. Well, except me when I said, "You made it into drama after telling Nick to make a biased video on it and did a livestream celebrating Super Mega sub loss.
Jesus.
Then you hid like a coward after Nick got hate. Your partner has made several contradictions, so people are rightfully going to question her." All this did was give his opponents content, as Sensitive Society and others would cover this Twitter drama. Things went quiet after this though, as Ethan returned to posting content normally. Then, in late February, Ethan would get into drama with Alex Rosen, which I'll go over shortly, because during the backlash he got from that, Lex finally decided to make a second video addressing Super Mega. Her and Ethan have been hinting at this for months, but most believe this would never come out. It seems she only made this since Super Mega started uploading again, and had lots of support. She realized that everyone saw her and Ethan as massive liars, especially after Nick posted his 5th apology in January. The video, titled, "Here's How Don Doctor and Super Mega Lied About My Essay," was uploaded on April 27th, 2024. And yikes, that's a bad like to dislike ratio. She starts by recapping the drama, going over Dawn's response. She now claims that Dawn choked her, instead of simply coercing her, as said in her first video. This is a telltale sign that she's full of shit.
Yeah, she's just revising her story to make it seem
Why didn't you mention
worse.
it before? She's only doing it now to make her story seem more damning. Lex doubles down on the claim that Matt and Ryan covered up her sexual assault, interpreting their messages as malicious when they clearly aren't. She is the malicious one here, not being able to apologize for anything she did wrong during the initial drama. Not even the Daniel Kyer mention, which he brushes off.
He called me a liar, everyone else a liar that spoke out on claims that we spoke on Daniel's suicide. Ryan uses angry, passive-aggressive language to guilt and shame everyone involved that merely mentioned
What?
Daniel's name, liking it to
He's the one guilting and shaming.
Daniel himself, but using quotes and references to my posts and videos that isn't about Daniel.
What do you mean? You're straight up fucking lying.
Several times in my 2-hour video.
Bro, they're mad you tried weaponizing it against them. You spread a false claim that they mocked his suicide, motivating people to leave negative comments regarding Matt and Ryan. Instead of owning up to that, she blames Destiny.
Fucking hate these snakes. So many fucking snakes everywhere.
An unlisted video of mine to demand apology for mean comments that some freaks, probably Destiny's audience, made on Daniel's memorial.
She then brings up why she briefly enlisted her original
Yeah, it was Destiny that did that, not you besmirching their name for no fucking reason.
Right-wing commentary, reactionary.
Everything has to be fucking political with these people. It has to push their agenda no matter what.
Not in the mental space.
Fucking disgusting.
And without having watched Matt and Ryan's videos until October, I was ignorant to the fact that they had pretty much spent the whole video defending themselves instead of saying anything supportive, and pretty much saying I lied about almost everything except for the assault, and fueling pretty much all
Whose fault do you think that is?
to the commentary community. It became pretty overwhelming for me in the mental state I was in that I was still trying to heal from. So about a month later, I felt that the video had had at least served its purpose within like the people that would have wanted to see it. And so
Yeah, I'm sure that's why you took it down, and it wasn't the
as I
backlash you
stated in my
received.
previous video, that was how I ended it. I was ready to heal and I wanted to move on. And so I took initiative on what I had
It
seen
wasn't so that
before.
people could actually see the contradictions and the lies that you were spreading.
And why go on stream with Ethan?
It's not
Why
trying to
make her cover it?
obfuscate what you're saying.
brings
No,
him
no,
up.
that wasn't the
Showing
purpose
text
at
she
all.
sent
I'm
to him
sure.
after his third Super Mega video. She asked him to take accountability for muddying the waters.
God,
As if she didn't do that in the
I'm
first video
so
by sprinkling
angry
information
right now.
free.
I just hate
By
these
this
people.
point,
These
Nick
kinds of
was
people.
realizing he fucked up.
Fucking
He
hate
seemed to actually
them.
want to improve things for the better. Lex and Ethan in turn are unhappy that Nick won't be their lapdog anymore. She then makes excuses for why she became homeless, explaining why she didn't want to live in an apartment alone. Pretty much, she's a nitpicky NEET, who felt like this would give Matt and Ryan financial control over her, as if she didn't spend months living at the Super Megaplex. Lex adds on to this by showing anger towards the focus of the drama being shifted away from Dawn. This was her own doing, since more than half
Yeah,
the
you
original
moved
video
it over to
focused on
you.
Opal's flames,
That
but
was
no
basically the
particular
point of
to
your
her.
video.
She ends the video by spending 5 minutes listing rape and sexual assault stats, which is just her virtue signaling. This video got torn to shreds, with every single comment picking apart her lies and contradictions. Though one comment stuck out, as it came from Dawn's ex-girlfriend. She wrote, Lex, let's not forget about how when I originally talked to you and posted about Dawn grooming me, you backed him up and continued being his friend. I was foolish to make tweets about the situation back in the summer before I realized the full situation. In my experience talking to you directly in the past, you acted like a snake. Yes, you agreed that Dawn fucked up, but you also said you supported me and didn't hold him accountable of me at all. Now you know how it feels to be me, when I felt all alone and afraid when people didn't believe me. When my previous account got mass reported by Dawn's followers and suspended, you're so pissed about people not supporting you. But where were you in the past for me? This was the
Exactly.
top comment until Lex deleted it.
These people are
If this
fucking
is
snakes.
true, which I don't entirely know,
They don't
then
even
prove how much
focus
of a
on what they
selfish
should be
bitch
focusing
Lex
on.
is.
That's not... I don't know.
On March 3rd, 2024, Ethan would upload a video to his Ethan channel called Hunting Predators for Clout. This is actually an edited down segment from my live stream, and I'm glad because I can't imagine sitting through an hour of this.
He doesn't take off days. He just sits inside on the internet, probably scrolling Twitter all day long, talking to fucking pedophiles on Facebook, pretending to be a minor every day. Unwell.
This video is meant as a hit piece of sorts on Alex Rosen, who some know as Chet Goldstein. Alex became infamous due to his sting on Cupcake Muncher EDP445. While Alex and his crew did expose him for being a pedophile, many rightfully criticized him for his poor management of the case. EDP would never end up getting legal repercussions because of this, and many began looking into Alex's online past. For instance, Alex has a history of making edgy prank videos, like when he called a Black Lives Matter hotline just about the gamer word. He also recorded a video of him telling a woman that he had a child locked in his basement.
I provide her with plenty of D, just not the vitamin part.
Oh no, that's not good either.
Oh, really?
Not if it's a child.
Well, I was tired of being a virgin.
Weird little cameramen are just harassing EDP and asking him a bunch of really stupid questions like, why do you do this, man? Do you know that this is bad to do?
Who cares if they're harassing EDP? He came there to meet with a 13-year-old girl.
I'm so confused.
Ethan then reviews Alex's older videos, but uses it once again to paint him as a pedo.
You can't make these kinds of jokes and look like this. Sorry, can't do it.
Ethan's other criticisms are okay, but he brings this all up for ulterior motives, because Alex has actually improved over the years, but Ethan doesn't care because the guy is openly conservative. This leads to some very bizarre statements from Ethan that make it seem like he's downplaying or defending the actions of pedos. For instance,
So, of course, because the predator, hunter, anti-pedophile dog whistles are extremely right-wing in nature, he was also on Tim Pool's show, where I think a pedophile hunter should be. He was recently interviewed by Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire. Michael Knowles is like a D-tier Daily Wire guy, so I never really talk about him. He's really stupid. He's like the Waluigi to Ben Shapiro's Mario. But he did interview Alex Rosen, and I figured I would watch the interview.
how are pedo hunters a dog whistle for right-wingers? Because in that second interview Ethan mentions, Alex actually says the opposite.
So you're a man of the right. You're right wing.
Very, very, very far right.
Yeah. Are there any liberals involved in the catch a pedo community?
Predator catcher wise, there's really nobody who's a leftist.
Yeah.
It's kind of
funny that.
Yeah, right. I will say though, most of the people we catch, I guess, are Republican voters. Not conservative in practice, because a lot of them are like on disability and welfare and all that stuff. But you know, we get a lot of comments like on YouTube, on Rumble, for example, like, "Oh, but look at you, you're catching another right winger." I'm like, okay, but the person arresting him is a right winger, the person catching him is a right winger, like so.
Right.
He's saying that he mainly catches right wingers. I'm sure Alex is biased against leftists, but he's truthful enough to mention that fact. Ethan isn't truthful at all, as he never shows himself reacting to that part and giving his takes. But wait, there's more.
Just yesterday in Georgia, we confronted a person who was out on bond for child porn charges, and we just showed up at his house with no messages, no nothing. We just had a phone number associated with an app that we know to be child porn related, and we talked to him for like 2 hours, and he admitted after he got out of...
You have an app that gives you Predator's phone number if he uses child porn, and then you found his address that way and then went to his house. Like, what is any of this technology? He won't name anything. He won't say what the app is called.
Ethan, why would he reveal that? Because if he did, a pedophile could use that app to make sure they're not being tracked.
So what got you into this?
Well, I'm 23 years old now. I know I look older, but, you know, seeing...
You look more mature.
Right, I look more mature. Thank you.
This man is 23 years old and spends all day pretending to be a child on the internet to talk to pedophiles, and then goes to their house. This guy's not normal.
19 years old, I've always wanted to be a police officer. I couldn't do that in Houston, Texas, where I'm from. At 19, you gotta be 21 to graduate the academy. At least that's what it was a couple years ago. I don't know now.
He doesn't want to be a cop anymore. He's having way too much fun, trying to be a little boy all day.
Okay, so you're rightfully going after him for using a minor as a decoy, but now you're saying it's weird for him to act as a minor to catch them? What should he do then, Ethan? Has he never seen To Catch a Predator before? Because Alex is using the same tactics as them to legally obtain confessions out of pedos.
I mean, you texted me like 4 times in a row, multiple times.
You skipped it me first.
I do think that because this guy keeps repetitively engaging these people, clearly, you can't arrest him for that. Because he wasn't talking to a little girl. He was talking to a guy pretending to be a little girl. It's not illegal, unfortunately. Playing pretend, you can't bring that into court.
You absolutely fucking can. Come on, Ethan. Imagine
It was
being so bad at
intent.
research that you don't even know it's illegal to send
It was
sexual messages
intent
to someone you think is
to
underage.
defile a
It's
minor,
called
basically.
soliciting a minor, and you can
I don't
be
know
arrested
another
by
word for
intent.
that. I'm too
That is
tired.
retarded.
Do you ever go to the movies or something? Do you ever have a day off?
Well, I don't take off days. I'll love to work. So luckily, I think catching predators is the funnest thing somebody can do. So it really works out well for me.
So, he's so brain broken. He doesn't take off days. He just sits inside on the internet, probably scrolling Twitter all day long, talking to fucking pedophiles on Facebook, pretending to be a minor every day. Unwell.
Says the guy spending all day criticizing
Jesus.
people for catching groomers. Ethan is the last person to call someone unwell and terminally online. This dude spends his time getting into easily avoidable drama and smoking weed of his mentally unwell girlfriend. I'm not a fan of Alex, but I heavily appreciate what he's doing. I don't think I can ever do what he does, yet Ethan treats this like a waste of time. He goes over a recent pedo that Alex caught, not understanding Alex's interrogation tactics.
Every single person has a vice. Every single person does stupid stuff, okay? I'm not immune from that. You're not immune from that.
Dude, he watches so much fucking like propaganda and like interrogation on YouTube where he's trying to establish rapport.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Does he think this is an interrogation?
Well,
It is. It's trying to get them to
what do you
admit
expect
to
him
their
do?
wrongdoing.
Start waterboarding the guy? He's coaxing him into revealing his crimes, not torturing him. He's doing things the right way, but Ethan just needs an excuse to label Alex as a pedophile sympathizer. Yet only a minute later, he says this.
Like, this dude probably makes plenty of money off this shit, but he's not paying for therapy. He's not getting these guys into like a housing that's away from like anyone they could do any harm to, that has no internet. He's not doing shit.
That's
and
not-
He's called a hero for it by hogs like Michael Knowles.
Alright, for the last time. That housing is called prison. He's getting these guys arrested and charged. I mean, here's the guy's mugshot. Proven pedophiles don't need to be coddled by society. They should receive the harshest punishment possible. And he never claims what he means by this. Because if Ethan was referring to getting non-offending pedophiles therapy, then okay, I guess. But instead, this implies he wants convicted pedophiles to receive treatment. People like that won't ever change. Did EDP change when he was revealed? No. He kept doubling down because redemption was never possible.
You know, I think our videos, or at least the intent of them, is to leave no doubt that these people getting exposed and arrested deserve the rest of their life, if not, you know, death in prison.
So what?
Right. Okay. I was just about to ask what his solution is. What?
Oh, the humanity. Someone please think of the child rapists.
Because they think that
a little older.
Yeah, they think that I'm mature enough to have a 9-year-old daughter.
And be a pedophile too, because you look like a pedophile.
You know, in 6th grade, some kid had his phone out. He's like, "Oh, Alex, look at this," and it was like porn. But I don't like 11-year-olds. I don't like 14-year-olds. I like adults.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I don't like 11-year-olds. I don't like 13-year-olds. I like adults. Guy who is definitely only into adults. Thank you for specifying.
And there's 2 more instances of Ethan implying he's a pedophile, followed up by Ethan blurting out this gem of a line.
Is it just because they're idiots?
Are they idiots? Yeah, I'd say a lot of them are, but
Okay, Michael Knowles is a fucking idiot. And what kind of question is that? Are pedophiles pedophiles because they're stupid?
What, you think pedos are stupid? No, you're stupid.
Just a couple days ago in San Antonio, we caught a guy, and he wanted to give a to what we said was an autistic 5-year-old. So, I mean, they have no limit. I mean,
That involves.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's just shock value. He says autistic 5-year-old like it's some crazy thing. But you came up with that, motherfucker. That was your character that you made up. Why did you do that? Is he about to be like, yeah, Chris Hansen, they had the 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds. We have 5-year-olds. We have 4-year-olds. They wanted a toddler. We push it to the max. We make these guys go crazy for babies. And then we don't arrest them.
Okay, so you know what the catch a predator is. And wait, what do you mean he doesn't get pedophiles arrested?
Can't be like the ends justify the means when you've only gotten 40 people arrested out of 600 stings.
At this point, we haven't arrested 44 different states.
An arrest in 44 different states. So 1 per state out of 600 stings?
He got 40 pedos arrested. So yes, the ends justify the means. How many creeps have you caught, Ethan? None? Okay, shut the fuck up. Let's be real. Ethan mainly made this video because Alex is conservative. If he just focused on that aspect, then I wouldn't complain. But nitpicking how he catches criminals is stupid, and it makes it look like he's defending them. Him being conservative doesn't change the fact that Alex is doing good. He's doing what pedo hunters should be doing. Would Ethan ever condemn other predator poacher channels like Anxiety War? No. He's too politically brained for that. He's gotta defend the groomers to own the chuds.
This pedo hunter stuff is really gross, really exploitative of people's emotions, and ultimately it's very self-serving for this particular predator
Yeah,
hunter.
sure,
You
dude.
couldn't even put EDP in jail. Anyway, go touch some grass.
This is easily Ethan's most hated video, and rightfully so. It even got many online leftists to agree that Ethan is a piece of shit. Though many didn't take note of it until commentary channels started covering it, leading to Alex Rosen taking notice of the video and calling him out. On March 6th, Alex reposted part of the video and tweeted, "Look at this little dork making a hit piece on me. Let's call in on a live stream. And you can ask me about the same tired-ass clips that every other talentless reaction YouTuber has for the past 3 years. What do you say? You can't arrest him. Here's the guy you're referring to. Arrested. Clown. Did you arrest him, Alex? This freakazoid wants me to debate him. No free clout. Sorry, creep. It's not illegal. Here's a guy that got arrested today because he was talking to someone pretending to be a little girl. Just admit it. You were out of your element. Yeah, dude, it wasn't you. It was someone who can actually arrest them and set up a sting. Unlike you. We set up the sting." Alex shows these images. And you got the footage where he was arrested, yeah? People point out that Ethan is moving the goalpost, and rightfully so. And yes, they got the footage of the guy being arrested. Alex then quote tweets him with, "You have no clout, and you have no point. Our work is regularly involved in court proceedings. They played an entire video of ours and had me testify. Before they sentenced the guy we confronted to 120 plus years not even a week ago. We've had people arrested on enticement, luring, etc. Charges from what you call pretending to be a little girl. You don't know how a sting operation works. And by the way, if you think decoying is creepy, that's fine. But I'd like you to go ahead and extend that to all of our decoys too. Some of whom are victims themselves, responsible for putting many dangerous people away for decades. They're all older than I am. Are they creepy as well? You can't debate because you don't know what you're talking about. You're a joke, dude. Ha 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 ha." Alex then shares DMs he sent Ethan where he politely asked him to go on a debate. "Yeah, no dude, you're an actual creep and weirdo. I want nothing to do with your stinky, smelly ass. Keep covering for your weird, pervert self hiding in plain sight. Posting your own L's. Getting called stinky smelly by a YouTuber. The fact that you want me to debate you so bad,
Jesus.
this proves that you're exactly the clout
Ethan
sucker
just
you are,
can't take an
brother.
L.
Who cares? Let's pretend he does this all for clout. Still seems like he is worthy for the clout if he is getting pedos arrested. I like pedos being arrested. Do you also like pedos being arrested? Your girlfriend still complaining about getting free housing for months by two guys who didn't have to? Things died down until people started picking up on the drama in late March, with this attention causing Ethan
He
to
just
write out
has
a
the
series of
worst
tweets on
takes. I don't
30
understand.
Really cute to keep making videos harassing a victim of multiple CSA, or calling out the unethical and suspicious practices of a YouTuber wannabe cop. Seriously, fuck all of you. You're defending an actual predator, but you don't care because you want the content. You're sick.
So he's
If I saw
just
some overpaid
straight up
hog
claiming that
YouTuber
Alex
man
is a
that came and
predator.
Assaulted me, I'd be sick to my stomach. Fuck all of you for inserting yourself into something you don't understand. I don't give a shit about your NPC talking points. You don't know what this kind of trauma is like, and you don't give a shit about children or victims. I'm humiliated I even have to talk about this, but getting called a pedophile for months on end has been crippling
Oh
to
my
mental
God.
health. Fuck you all. I hope you get exactly what you deserve. Okay, a few things. 1. How is he going to complain about being called a pedophile, when in the same thread he referred to Alex Rosen as a predator? And remember, he insinuated 4 times in his original video that Alex is a pedo. No self-awareness from Ethan here. 2nd, Alex doesn't have tea with these groomers. He's coaxing them into having a confession. He's pretending to be nice to get them to confess. No matter how many times you explain it to him, Ethan will never understand. 3rd, of course this guy is playing victim. He started this drama, of course, but he can't stand the same amount of hate that he dishes out. You getting assaulted as a child doesn't make you automatically correct. The comments were turned off, so the quote tweets are filled with responses. A lot of them just call him a pedo, but some give valid criticism. Translation: I made a garbage, bad faith hit piece where I was being a dishonest piece of shit, and people called me out for it and disputed my claims, so I'm going to weaponize my story of CSA to play victim, instead of admitting or understanding why I was wrong and apologizing. Harassing? You made a shit video and put it out there for the public to react to, exactly like you wanted. But because you're not getting the reaction you wanted, you're crying victim. That's not harassment, you disingenuous piece of shit.
Oh,
I
jeez.
said, here's all the Ethan is online-isms exemplified for this drama. Make a video in bad faith of weak evidence. Bring politics into it for no reason. Make fun of someone's looks despite fighting for body positivity. Spurg out on Twitter in response to reasonable criticism. And then Alex wrote, you wanted to make a dumbass hit piece about me. Now you're getting your reaction. Are you mad that I'm not just allowing you to steamroll me and making you look like a complete coward by publicly asking you to debate and you refusing? Or you, bro. This is the face of a clown that can't take the heat.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
By mid-2024, the condemnation against Ethan was the highest it's ever been. His uploads still get decent views, but they'd slowly dip below 100,000 views on average. I guess normies don't want to watch. The celebrity blackout is a mess. New York's unhinged cop mayor, and fake fruit is taking over TikTok. Nobody was really talking about these videos, but instead some of the live streams Ethan did on Twitch. The first stream of note is from July 9th, where Ethan gets asked about queef jerky.
Do you still fuck with queef jerky? I know people have been really curious, and like, I haven't found like a great time to really talk about it, because like, how do you? It's not like I've been trying to like hide it or anything, it's just hard to make that space and know that people are actually going to understand, metabolize what I'm saying.
He drones on for a bit and starts getting into the nitty-gritty. Ethan begins elaborating on why he and Nick Green stopped being friends.
Some of you guys might know that Nick covered what happened with Lex's story. His first video was sort of a recap of what had come out and an overview of the subreddit of the guys that covered up what happened, and really talking about how the subreddit was making fun of them, and he engaged in a lot of similar making fun of. But he didn't lie. He didn't get anything wrong. Then their responses came out, and they lied about everything. I mean, bar for bar, line by line, lying through their teeth. And I think Nick believed them, but wouldn't tell me. At least for some things. Because his second video, he didn't come back to check anything. He didn't come back to be like, you know, whose side is right? He actually didn't speak to Lex once. She talked about this in her video.
Can you name one thing Super Mega lied about? Or are you just saying that to cover your own ass? You can watch the full segment below, and not once does he give a good example. He says something similar about the commentary community.
Because, like, I don't want to watch the hate videos. I think a lot of people are in that boat. Not that they even know anything. They literally get everything wrong. Every hate video is just factually wrong. That's the funniest part about them. Not one hater video has ever gotten, like even, like, where I come from right. Like, they don't know anything about me.
The one example he gave on Twitter was shit, so his others would be just as bad.
Nick's second video comes out about the situation, and he's like conforming to their narrative that contradicts what Lex said, but doesn't like fact check any of it. With us, with Lex, with he just like, you know, and he continued to conform more and more to that narrative as people were harassing him, making.
I think he likes that word, conform.
And this is before I ever had anything like that. So I don't think he trusted me when I told him it would go away or that it isn't important to focus on. Because I was comparing it to how people treat Hassan, which is very accurate. It's very similar. The way people.
Oh, of course
were
he's
lying
a
about Nick
Hassan
was disgusting.
defender.
The way they were using him in their thumbnails was racist and disgusting. Almost every single video. Without exception.
Like what?
Wait, is he saying that every single Nick hate video has a racist thumbnail? Where? He obviously doesn't show an example, but it's such a bizarre claim to make. I'm not denying the existence of a so-called racist thumbnail, but
Like,
Ethan's track
yeah, there
record
could
leads me
be,
to believe he's
but
making
like
sense.
every single
And
one,
of
including the.
course, Ethan is
I
comparing
don't
himself
think
to a
Tom,
hiker.
Turkey Tom would ever use a racist thumbnail.
When Nick's second video came out, he didn't get shit right. He just got shit wrong, and it made people think Lex was lying. And he continued making posts and videos about it when I asked him not to, because he kept getting shit wrong, which would send harassment to Lex.
He never specifies. He never ever specifies what's wrong. He just says that it is wrong. That it's contradictory. That it's untruthful. That they're lying through their teeth about something. But he never says what.
And I told him to stop, and he didn't. I sat him down and I said, "You have to stop talking about this."
And the shit he does point out, he isn't right about. Like it never was.
And I was like, dude.
Like he's like trying to discredit them by pointing out that the time that she met them wasn't correct, but it was correct even, and they even specified in the video that it was.
And was acting like I was trying to do something to him.
Because you probably were.
So defeated, where to the point where I was like, you need to like just talk to Lex. Just talk to Lex. I don't even want to have this conversation with you. Just please talk to Lex. And I asked him to apologize for getting shit wrong.
That's funny.
Obviously, he didn't mean to do this, and I was trying to be very understanding. And he refused.
Okay, a lot to break down here. Nick implies that Ethan was trying to control him. Ethan's response was to force him into conversing with Lex and apologize. Sounds controlling to me. By this point, Nick didn't want to communicate with Lex and Ethan anymore, possibly due to a few reasons. He might have seen the couple as too controlling. He might now be realizing all the holes in Lex's story, and doesn't trust her as much. Or he was stuck underneath a rock in a hard place, deciding to agree with whatever was the popular opinion. We don't know, as we've never gotten Nick's side of the story. Based on what Ethan is saying, he only got pissed at Nick when he began having his own opinions on the situation. He couldn't control Nick anymore, and threw him under the bus just like with the other accusers. It seemingly took months for Nick to fully realize how much he fucked up.
Lex sent him a very long text, it's in her video, begging him to communicate. And that was after he like started drama unnecessarily, got shit wrong without listening. And eventually he told me it was just too stressful.
Is this the
He said,
kind
"I
of
can't even
person
talk
you
about this
really
with you guys
want to
because it's so
watch,
stressful for
though?
me."
Like,
And I literally-
nothing
I sent him the
about
longest message. I
him
was like,
is
"Dude,
like appealing to watch.
just telling
Like
you
about
you're
Ethan
wrong."
is online. Like I
And it was a
find
very long
him
message about,
depressing
like,
almost to look at.
You know, the shit that Lex had gone through, the shit that I had gone through, and that had never been put on him. Not once.
I don't know. It's like
But
it's like watching somebody
his
decay
pushback
in
was
front of
put
you.
on us because we had a problem with
Like decay
what
as
he
a
was doing, which
person,
was him getting shit wrong.
both physically and
All I wanted was to communicate.
I guess
All
mentally.
I wanted was to communicate. Just talk. And it was too much.
From the sounds of it, you did not want him to have a conversation.
No,
weren't
you wanted to
just
tell
sending
him what
comments
was
over
up and him not to
You
question
wanted
it.
him to be your puppet, your spin doctor. I don't like Nick, but the dude got fucked over, man. Because by the end of 2023, Nick was genuinely trying to accost for his mistakes, which Ethan rants about.
He made another video about it where he apologized to the guys that covered it up by name. Didn't mention Lex's name once, calls her the victim. And he's apologizing for starting drama when it was about how they covered up sexual assault. And that, I mean, fucking... It made people think Lex was completely making up an entire fucking fabricated story to cancel YouTubers. When that is not even close to what happened.
Is
It
it?
couldn't be further from the truth. And that couldn't be further from something Lex would want to do.
Pretty sure it was a live stream that did that. Also this.
We can keep watching it. I don't think anyone minds letting this loop on repeat. We could just let this go.
Oh, and Ethan thinks that bit of Nick was justified.
People were praising him for the vid. Yeah, annoying commentary watchers and liars were saying this is such a good video because you apologized to the guys that I like. And apologized for...
Is that not exactly what you do, though?
hurting their feelings, I guess. He literally
I
apologized
don't know.
for
I
putting
don't.
the gif of
I don't
fucking
understand
Matt
this
Watson getting
guy.
punched in the face. You're really apologizing
It
for that?
tires me
He's
to
a
listen to
rape
him talk.
apologist. Play it 10 times, 100 times. I can't be friends with people who are that, like, easy to fold.
Says the guy who made this tweet. The rest of the stream is just Ethan victimizing himself, bringing up the hate he got from the Alex Rosen drama.
I've obviously, like, deleted a bunch of old shit. Not videos or anything, just, like, I deleted all my TikToks. I deleted a lot of Instagram posts. Partially because people were brigading them, calling me a fucking pedophile, which is disgusting. and
yeah.
Wrong and literally a lie.
Didn't stop you from calling Alex a pedo, though. Huh?
Exactly.
Oh, and a troll came in.
Fucking hypocrite. You're like, yeah, it's fine for me to just call someone that, but when you call me that, that hurts my feelings and it's
You're
wrong.
literally, like, my favorite loser podcast that reports on random YouTube drama is gonna love this in a month, I guess. Like, do you even know what I'm about to talk about? You don't. Thank you, iFunny. Jimmy fucks dogs. John Tent forever. JJJ vertical bar dude. Chatter, take your meds, dude. Like, seriously. My most stable hater. I need to ban. Okay, Sophie, because he's literally, I think, sick. Get better. It's over. You failed.
Bro, you look like you're sick. Calm down.
There, Ethan. Apparently, there's another stream he did where he watches Fish Tank live clips. It's lost, but if anyone has recordings of that, please send them my way. A week later, on July 16th, YouTuber and streamer Lyrics begins sifting through a few Ethan VODs live. He's met with a clip where Ethan and Lex baselessly call Turkey Tom and Destiny pedophiles, as if Ethan hasn't learned his lesson yet.
Oh, that's funny.
Ed, bro, how long has he been on this crusade?
Got. Just spin on it. Just spin on it,
Dude,
too.
no wonder he's such a big Destiny fan now. He's just hopping pedophile to pedophile.
He just...
No wonder he's such a big Destiny fan. Destiny's a pedophile. Dude, this guy...
Good idea. Let's accuse more people of being pedophiles for no
Watching that
reason.
night's stream, where Ethan and Lex are playing Elden Ring. Lyric shows interest in debating Ethan, though Ethan rejects this while arguing with his chat.
He's wrong about everything because I know the random, like, NPC takes that he has about me. He doesn't actually know anything about me, he just repeats what other commentary YouTubers say.
Wow, he doesn't have a single thought in his head, does he?
If he wants to have a conversation, this isn't true.
Basic information wrong. He's untrustworthy and stupid.
So let's have a conversation. You could wipe the floor with me then. You could wipe the floor if I don't know anything about you.
Like, how else can I show that to you?
In a conversation. That would be the easiest debate of your life.
He didn't have one, but you're acting like the others are invalid because one guy made a mistake, because they're all the same.
Oh, that's
They're all
funny.
the same.
They all make little mistakes. Oops.
Just
but then they go
generalizing a whole
unchecked,
community.
and they're
After this, Ethan tries labeling Lyrics as a pedo too, so his viewers began raiding Ethan's chat to mess with him.
Accusation.
The lolly accusations. Are you like a Vosh defender or something?
Let's start.
You think
Nope.
that's cool? Because I
Nope.
certainly don't.
Nope.
Lyrics might.
Nope. Just more repeating shit he has no clue about. He hopped on false accusations against
Like,
me.
literally, like, just throwing out a random accusation when, like, apparently that's people's biggest problem with me is, like,
And yet he just repeats.
He just
it on
does the
vlog
same
shit.
thing.
people like Lyrics.
He's bitching about people calling him a pedo, and he just called me a fucking buck.
Lyric soon concludes his stream, with viewers like myself joining Ethan's. He spends over an hour reading random comments made specifically to piss him off. He reads almost every single one, clearly mauled.
Jesus.
He takes his time to point out typos, as if that's anything close to resembling a valid argument.
Your. I put it out the wrong word. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're.
Great and mighty, I don't have a stupid. Are you okay? I don't have one. What do you mean you're stupid?
Yes.
Nazi over here.
Over her? Over who?
Dude, you're
Who are you talking about?
You don't have a brain. You don't have fingers.
I'm not the one that's misspelling the most basic language.
You're stupid.
Smaggle then comes in and brings up the Big Bungie video.
Still think you should watch the Big Bungie video on you? Would wipe the slate clean with this chat. That video has fucking revenge porn in it. It is a deranged, like,
Revenge porn.
fucking delusion made by a 4chan basement dweller. I'm not watching that. You're sick in the head if you think there's fucking good critiques in it, and if you want to fucking make the points, repeat them. Regurgitate like you do all these dumbass questions.
Oh my god.
Basie
I
Bungie.
hate listening to
My
this
favorite
guy.
YouTuber, Basie Bungie. It's so funny to see you, Seeth. Dude, you haven't made a single point. I hope you're proud of yourself. But you haven't. Call your mom, yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna look
27
at
out
that
of
on
33.
stream.
Thank
We're not gonna look
you.
at Basie
We're
Bungie and he's fucking dumbass
certainly
fake-ass
going.
video. For real, what's one point he makes in that video?
Damn.
He literally theorizes that I have diabetes. Fucking real.
Well, I mean, you
real
could.
Hard hitting.
What's wrong with theorizing?
Coping and seething, bro. Watch my stream more. Copying.
You got bigger problems to sort out.
Okay, first of all, how is this revenge porn? At worst, it's piracy. It's a photo Lex posted online herself. It's just under a paywall. And he censored the image, so who cares? These are the people spreading the whole sex workers real work narrative, and then treat
Yeah.
OnlyFans leaks as revenge porn. OF photos aren't intended to be shared privately. It's a business. A morally bankrupt business, but a business nonetheless. Also, Ethan calling Big Bungie a 4chan basement dweller is hilarious. Comparing them is basically the Chad versus Virgin meme. Bungie is jacked, and Ethan looks like the trap image of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Okay, that's funny. I like that.
Soy friend Nick, defend your GF. He didn't defend her, by the way.
We made him do
He
it.
didn't do it.
No autonomy. He's actually a trained dog in a
You're
man
so
suit.
stupid.
Who is who?
Hipster
I
owns
hate
you.
listening to them.
Is that you?
I don't.
Brown guy's I'm a brown person. What do you mean?
You are a white person.
You're trying to make this some like racist shit. You little fucking snowflake.
Weird. You got mogged by Smaggle Daggle and Tips.
Dude, that's even
You got mogged by Tipster? That's the worst fate, to be honest.
That's not a fucking real thing.
That's the guy that was like having intrusive thoughts about me jerking off a child.
A Cheeto owns you, Budster. Sensitive Society owns
You're
you.
just,
Yeah.
like,
Do you want to
naming
name
guys.
any more?
Dude, how does it feel to be an
Smaggle.
actual NPC? You're just pressing the different, like, 4-button combinations you got.
Chud Logic owns you.
Yeah, the racist guy?
Yeah, fallen off.
He's, like,
Nazi.
ugly as fuck? Really?
Totally. There we go. More Star Wars characters. Let them all out. Just remember, bad dogs get put down. What's that supposed to mean?
Don't make me horny making these dog illusions.
Ronald Riz.
What the fuck? We're doing foreplay. Do I need to put a collar on now?
Dude,
Put
come
on the
on.
puppy ears?
Ronald Riz.
And yes, Lex is a furry. I had to verify that the hard way.
Her job is to be a freeloader. Animal Control owns you.
I own a house.
Oh hey, there's me. Yeah, you know I had to join in. Here's my favorite comment.
You and Vosh to date. What? Why did you say
Okay, I like that.
he's a pedophile?
Well, shucks. I got banned from his chat.
Holy
guys.
shit, wait.
Show's over. In all honesty,
I didn't
this
realize
scene is
people
pretty
turned on
pathetic.
Vosh.
Ethan is just sitting there smoking out of a bong while his chaos
Wait, wasn't
girlfriend
Denims
is in the
defending
background
him?
and does her Kamala
Wasn't he
Harris
friends with
image.
Denims? What's going on?
Is it? Wait, I'm getting gaslit.
Average intelligence of my fucking haters, dude. Right fucking here.
Innocent people don't act this way. They're trying to laugh things off and seem chill, when in reality, they're
Yeah, it's
snarling.
very
If they were
forced,
being
to be honest.
truthful, then Ethan would make a video debunking all the lies about him. He won't, of course. That's why he needs his breadtuber friends to do it for him. Ethan would delete this VOD, but that wouldn't stop people from archiving it. Lyrics would review it on stream the next day, pointing out how successful his audience was at baiting them.
A Cheeto owns you, Budster. Sensitive
Dude, he's reading these out in these retarded voices, not realizing, like, the fact that, like, the reason people are even bringing up a Cheeto right now is because people are coming from my chat, who my chat certainly does not like a Cheeto anymore. And it just wants you to
Yeah,
say
I
these
don't
names
like a
out loud. They're
Cheeto, to
trying
be honest,
bait you,
either.
trying to bait
I think
you
he's a
into
little,
saying these commentary YouTubers' names. Like,
I
that's
don't
the
find his
joke.
content to be
About
worthwhile to
half an hour
watch.
in, a surprise guest enters the chat.
Yo, what is dude? What is this allowance? It's Mr. Beard. It's Ryan B.
Hipster L.
Ethan needs to log off. He's clearly spiraling, but doesn't realize it. Him and Lex suck though, so whatever. I'm not friends with Ethan anymore after he justified anti-Semitism and told me I was victim blaming when I got mad at Lex for lying about niggas not green. That's fucking dumb. Face Ryan Beard.
The first part of that message is actually referring to a Twitter argument Ryan had with Ethan at the beginning of 2024.
Fuck, that reminded me of the Bo Blacks versus Tipster thing.
But the gist is
Fucking
that
hell.
Ryan
I
didn't
can't
like the
believe he
interview
fucking
Hassan did
lost
with the
that.
Houthi
That was
pirate.
such
Ethan
bullshit.
is a Hassan
How the
dick
fuck do you lose
muncher
to
and thought
Tipster?
the interview was based
Actually.
and downplayed that person as just a random Yemeni kid. Ryan deleted a bunch of these tweets, so I can't show the entire conversation.
I'm still just as much of a leftist, but Ethan makes other leftists look like freaks when he releases terrible videos, like the Alex Rosen one, so I have no desire to associate with him. Hey man, I'll see you later, Ryan Beard. Don't worry though, if Ethan calls you a pedo, that just means that he wants you to get free therapy. Lol, alright, I need to stop. See you guys later. Have a good one, man.
Based Ryan Beard. This is why I glazed the guy in my breadtuber video. Even if you disagree with the take he's had, the dude has the balls to call out other breadtubers. A lot of Ethan's
What a
other
cool
friends
guy.
started distancing themselves from him too, not wanting to associate with someone who gives leftists a bad name. This stream solidified Ethan as the locale of breadtube. He still has a fan base, but it's much smaller and less vocal. More people hate him than love him, as seen by the amount of views the average hate video gets. It's incredibly easy to milk content from this guy, as he'll always give an over-the-top reaction to any form of criticism he gets. In June, the reason why Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch was finally revealed. Former Twitch director of strategic partnerships, Cody Connors,
So
tweeted,
that
he
I
got
still have a
banned because he
one-shot
got
kill.
caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. The doc would deny this at first, and it would take a few more days for him to partially confess. The issue some had is that many big influencers are too quick to automatically label him as a pedo before the confession. This was labeled as a double standard, as some of these same influencers weren't as quick to condemn Ava Chris Tyson, leading to drama. Now, many of the individuals accused of this double standard were able to disprove this notion, but others were caught red-handed. One of those individuals being Ethan is Online, who made multiple tweets shitting on Dr. Disrespect days before the confession. He even got into an argument with Alex Silverstein, which were just pointless back and forths. Now, he was obviously justified in shitting on the doc, but he didn't give the same energy when Ava was accused of buying lolly art and sending sexually inappropriate messages to minors. On July 20th, a few days after his stream with Lex, Ethan would discuss the topic live, giving this reaction to the mere mention of the allegations.
Thoughts on the Chris Tyson allegations? There are no fucking Chris Tyson allegations. What do you mean by that? The fuck? Allegations of what?
Before starting this video,
Dude, this is not... Oh my god. This is insane. This is a random channel with 9,000 subscribers. This video will make you hate Chris Tyson. It's only 7 minutes.
Ethan skips through the video made by Adrox, which helped bring the allegations against Ava mainstream.
So, the synopsis is...
They bought
Ava
Lollypoint.
used to like... Stop skipping? No, because the synopsis of the video is Ava used to like Shadman in 2017. I don't need to look at a bunch of his fucking Nazi pedophile art to go fucking figure that out. That's gross. Don't watch that fucking dog shit video. So bad. Such an awful, fucking terribly formatted video. Literally the worst fucking YouTube video I've seen in a long time. Literally just to be like, Mr. Beast's friend 7 years ago had some inappropriate tweets that were a really bad look. You're avoiding the video? That's the whole point. What am I avoiding? What am I avoiding?
You're avoiding the main topic and trying to excuse Ava's behavior by saying it happened 7 years ago. Dr. Disrespect messaged that minor 7 years ago. Does that
Goblin.
make it okay then, Ethan? This is the double standard. I mean, Ethan will basically call other people pedophiles, but when there's evidence against Ava, he avoids addressing it. He even chastises Adrox for showing censored Shadman art, as if Ava didn't repost it herself uncensored.
Kaikrai, thank you for the prime. Do not post these. Oh my god, why are you posting this Nazi pedophile's art?
A chatter hilariously named I Get Blacked then starts arguing with Ethan, mentioning how he keeps dodging the topic at hand.
I'm literally discussing the video, which is so
You're not discussing the video. That was the whole
I don't need to see
point.
the whole thing. It's bad. It's a bad video. Chris has liked images with underage characters. Bro, you were talking about a Nazi pedophile artist that was like massively popular on YouTube at the time. I'm sorry. It was fucking 7 years ago. Showing it to me is fucking gross. I don't want to see it.
Holy shit!
It's irrelevant.
Oh, Ava loves
He just
to talk to
refuses
underage
to
characters? That's
just
irrelevant.
discuss it at all,
Who
doesn't he?
cares? That's not going to hurt anybody. His bias towards Ava is pretty apparent, as I Get Blacked points out that he follows her on Twitter.
Since this time, Chris transitioned and is now Ava. To give you an idea of how fucking long ago this was! Stop being defensive. You follow Chris on Twitter? Dude, This was a completely different time. I was in high school when this happened. I had no idea who fucking Mr. Beast was, and neither did Mr. Beast. He wasn't even around. What are you saying? Yeah, your username, by the way, is I Get Blacked. You're also fucking weird as fuck for that. Only weird that videos like this only came up after she came out as trans? Yeah.
Ethan is biased towards Ava because she's one of the most well-known
what?
transgender influencers on the internet. She was part of a YouTube channel that has over 300 million subscribers, being the best friend of Mr. Beast. She's also taken part in trans activism, calling out Nick Merckx for his transphobia only a month prior. Ethan's bias is because she's trans and she's a leftist.
It shows maybe a bias for reality and 2024. I will say that. I do have I have a recency bias. I have a bias for shit that has actually happened in the last 5 fucking years. I mean, Jesus. It shows a bias. I can say that what Chris was doing on the internet in 2017 is fucking gross, unacceptable, but she doesn't do that anymore. She doesn't do that. It's not acceptable. I agree with you. I literally agree with you. It is not acceptable. But that hasn't happened in 7 years.
Okay, then should Dr. Disrespect be forgiven? I don't think so. This recency bias argument is stupid for multiple reasons though, as some of these tweets are from 5 years ago, and some of the accusations against her are from the past couple of years. This recency bias seemingly only applies to people Ethan likes, as it doesn't apply to other individuals.
Oh my god, I can't get a break, can I?
The most popular video on his second channel has him calling Matt Walsh a pedophile for stuff he said 11
I need
years
the
ago.
Siren or I need the
Matt made a blog
PM9.
post back in 2013, saying that 16-year-olds are the most fertile and should be impregnated. I'm not going to defend that, and I actually agree with some of Ethan's criticisms of him. I bring this up because he reveals contradictory logic to the recency bias point.
I think you should absolutely give people the benefit of the doubt that they have changed.
No, this is
See them
done
as
already.
An old take. It's a bad take. But when you dig up something from 15 years ago on Matt Walsh and it's still perfectly in line with his worldview and there's no evidence that he's ever changed and he still thinks that way, and you can reasonably assume that he still thinks that way, and he's publicly saying these kinds of things. It doesn't matter how old it is. He might as well have said that fucking clip yesterday because he's the same stupid incel pedophile fuck.
And I agree with that, though calling a married man with kids an incel is stupidly funny. But he clearly doesn't use that same logic of people like Alex Rosen, who have changed. Yet Ethan still criticized him for things he's done in his past. And with Ava, it's still reasonable to assume she's still into Lolly. I mean, there's no proof otherwise. That's Ethan's own logic. Ethan is not defending Ava. He's minimizing her actions while at the same time making it seem like he's condemning her. He's downplaying it. He should just say, yeah, this is gross and unacceptable, and that's it. None of this, oh well, it happened so long ago, so who cares bullshit.
Why are you being defensive? Well, you're just changing the complete conversation.
That's
You don't
not.
even say
Yeah, sure,
being
dude.
defensive. I'm literally saying it's bad.
Room tour.
I literally said it's an unacceptable thing to do, and you're like, why are you being defensive?
Ethan would stop posting as much on Twitter after this, and never gave updates on the Ava Tyson situation, like he did with the doc. I don't think Ethan is
Oh,
a pedo.
that's
I
good.
just think he's so comfortable defending gross people, because his ultimate goal is to own the conservatives. Oh, conservatives are going after Ava? Guess I gotta minimize her actions. Oh, this conservative catches predators? Gotta sympathize with the predators. Oh, conservatives think gay people are groomers? Nah, they're the real groomers. None of this is productive. It just makes his side look bad. He's so politics-brained that he can't even take a step back and see how optically bad his content is.
Yeah.
On September 25th, Ethan would tweet, "This edible ain't shit." A few hours later, he'd quote tweet this with, "I think I'm a girl?" He posted some shitty Trump meme and added on, "Wow guys, thanks for so many kind words. It's a lot to figure out, but I'm happy I'm at the point where I can make jokes like this online. Was the edible laced with estrogen? See, the fact that I wish I did makes me think a bit. I expect that from a psychedelic, not an edible." Okay, to be fair, the edible only made me want to shitpost about it. I realized it over a long period of time. Anyone following Ethan's activities like myself had already predicted something like this would happen. I mean, back in July, some guy rudely asked, "Who groomed you into becoming a troon?" Which Ethan stupidly replied with, "Joe Biden." In early September, Beazle posted a screenshot from a Twitch stream where Ethan was wearing makeup. I quote tweeted this with, "He looks like Tom Girl Chris Chan." Ethan would continue tweeting with, "My first official act now that I'm out is to apologize for having ever been a man. Please forgive me, I'll never do it again. My second act is streaming tonight live and having fun catching up with chat. My birth name is so goofy because it's not gender neutral, but it's not like masculine. I don't know. I want a pretty name too, so I found one, but honestly it's not a huge deal, until it is. Others being trans makes some people so angry online, but the kind of happy it makes me is so real fulfilling. There's genuinely no way to take that away. TERFs and transphobes are like zoo animals to me. A few days later, Ethan would post these lovely photos of himself, while also choosing to start going by Eden. He also still goes by Ethan too, which is really confusing. I'm still going to refer to him as Ethan for consistency's sake, and also his channel is still called Ethan's Online.
Who is this cute little lesbian, and how tight is her pussy?
Many commentary channels began trolling Ethan, as to be expected. Can we collab? Stunning. Ethel works better, cause you look like a grandma. Whose lost grandmother is this? You should change your birth name to... Bruh. Ethan then clapped back by tweeting, being trans breaks people's brains so hard that the same freaks went from calling me soy and beta to now insisting I'm actually a strong masculine man, LMAO. It's just so funny to watch them scramble for new talking points. Like you should just go outside, or just not think about how much you disdain trans people for like a day. It's
Bruh.
really a sickness. I don't think anyone did that, Ethan. I think everyone was just like, yeah, that makes sense, or that, you look like a grandmother with dementia in that pervious photo. Basic jokes at your expense. Nothing has changed. Still soy, still a retard. Just cause you are trans does not change that. Ethan is genuinely an emotionally sensitive person, who is unable to have stable interactions with those who have differing opinions from him. He operates on a team sports mentality, something I went more in detail on in my BreadTuber video. If someone is on his side, he'll defend them against hate, even if it's reasonable hate. So if someone he likes has a differing opinion, he feels like he has no choice but to shun them. This has left him a very few friends, even within BreadTube. The only one with the balls to defend Ethan is Noah Sampson, who announced back in September that he had interest in making a video on the topic.
You know, there's a cottage industry of videos out there dunking on Ethan is online, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in those videos that is fucked up, and it's just very normalized, so.
This guy is not unique. There's like 500 of this exact dude. They got the same politics, the same IQ, the same smugness, but you know what they've not got? They've not got his blood cholesterol percentage. They've not got his BMI score, and you can't take that away from him.
I think I'll probably do a separate video called In Defense of Ethan is Online, because regardless of what you personally think of a guy, I feel like the amount of backlash he's received is very much not proportional to the crimes in question, at least from what I've seen, such as examples such as this.
As of recording this, Noah has yet to release such a video, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't at all. Many leftists online have made it very clear that they don't like Ethan, mainly due to his poor handling of the super mega drama and feud of Alex Rosen. Here's a Reddit post from a user on Ethan's own subreddit reading, as we all know, Ethan has been getting a lot of shit recently. Like, a lot. People are already calling him a lol cow. And honestly, I'm starting to believe that if Ethan doesn't wise up, he will become one, and it's making me furious. Ethan has stated that people are flat out lying or getting things wrong about him. I'm not sure about you guys, but if people were lying about me publicly and it affected my job, I would do everything I could to disprove people. And the fact that Ethan just does it pisses me the fuck off. Where is his self-preservation? Where is his pride? Is he seriously content if people making fun of him, calling him a liar, a lol cow, and so much worse? It just boggles my mind, and it's clearly getting to him. I know he smokes too much weed, but recently his eyes don't look like he's stoned. His eyes are the eyes of a person who doesn't sleep well, or has been crying a lot. It's clearly taken a toll on him, as he even responds to obvious trolls. In one of his recent streams, he went in on an obvious troll account on Twitter, and even engaged with a dude on Twitch called I Get Blacked for a while, which is an obvious fucking troll. Ethan is such a pussy that he can't even defend himself. He has to have Daddy Noah do it for him, and he still fails at that. I mean, in Noah's response to me, he has to cut context from my video so he doesn't have to address Ethan's livestream with Lex. I also asked a friend of mine about their thoughts on Ethan, as they're a leftist but heavily dislike Ethan. I don't mind his takes usually, but a lot of his videos feel like bad faith arguments rather than actual arguments. I get that it's YouTube, and he also has to try and be entertaining to earn money. But where sometimes he should or could argue points, he instead puts a joke in and doesn't really argue a point. Also, his reactions to criticism on Twitter are really embarrassing but funny to see. Half of his videos feel like he enjoys using leftist jargon but doesn't quite understand the concepts fully. Like, you know when people use big words that sound smart but don't really know what they mean? There's probably an alternate universe where Ethan turned out to be a normal YouTuber, someone well respected. But instead, over the course of years, he's become radicalized into someone unfamiliar with his former self. Ethan started out as a pretty mundane guy, making pretty decent commentary YouTube videos. For some reason, Ethan thinks this is when he became radicalized, but this seems to be some form of cope. Now, this is just speculation on my part, but Ethan seems to have always been a leftist. and probably watched content from Ethan Klein, Shoe1Head, Filthy Frank, and iDubbbz back in the day. He liked edgy humor and thought making fun of SJWs was based. What probably changed was the 2020 US election, which is when BreadTube had its resurgence. Ethan started becoming more and more political, soon doing it to join the Cool Kids Club, aka BreadTube. To seem mature, he looks down upon the old edgy content he used to love, even though he's just as immature as ever. He became safe edgy, making jokes that would never piss off his audience. This has led to his content becoming stale, as he cares more about sharing pretentious messages instead of entertaining everyone as a whole. He specifically caters to an echo chamber, an audience just as radical as him. Some broke away due to his poor handling of drama, while those who have stayed are just as delusional as Ethan is. And this has led to him becoming a lolcow, someone that the commentary community farms laughs out of whenever he gives a bad take or says something cringy on Twitter. And he practically encourages this by not putting his foot down and asserting himself as correct. Obviously, he's not correct about a lot of things, but he doesn't even try at this point. One last thing I have to address though, is Ethan is Online a cuck? Well, the answer is yes, because 2 months ago, Lex announced that she wanted to film some blowjob videos. Most likely this will involve another man, cause god, I don't think the world is ready to see Ethan's gawk. Actually, Chud Logic might enjoy that.
Okay, they're trans now. Kind of funny, I guess. I don't really know what to say about it. Except my dating partner. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. No more cock jokes today.
Wow. Wait, really? I got through that whole video. Damn. Rob's Media, grant me sight. Oh, wait.
Some of you are going to walk away from this with careers.
Now he looks like from his
Hold on.
profile, he looks like a crescent moon. Why does he look like that? Why are his eyes
I like
yellow?
Rob's Media. His videos entertain me. Responding to Noah Samson. Excellent.
So I've been wanting to respond to Noah Samson's coverage of my Why I Hate BreadTubers video, which he decided to split into multiple parts for some reason. Unlike him, I don't like wasting my audience's time, so I'll only be going over the main egregious points Noah made. I'll link all of his videos below. Don't harass the guy obviously, I'm linking them for full transparency. What really caught my attention of Noah's responses is the downright slanderous stuff he said about YouTuber, streamer, and fat British guy, Chud Logic. In my original video, I brought up this infamous Noah tweet, where he calls Chud a pedo and insists he should be brutally killed. I'll address this tweet more later, but let's focus on the important part. Noah is outright trying to paint Chud as a pedo, something no other YouTuber agrees with.
With this Chud Logic guy, I called him a pedophile for, I think, more tangible reasons. He was horny texting an 18-year-old fan of his in his Discord. He was in his mid-30s, so like at least 35. I said 37, I don't remember exactly what it is. In these messages, he frequently references or kind of asks about her virginity. He says, I'm gonna penetrate the shyness. She says, you just don't understand me because you're a boomer. And he says, nah, you're just a shy virgin, lol.
So let's go over the full context. In early 2021, a Twitter user made a thread detailing her experience of Chud the year prior. She said she was a fan of his, and he'd messaged her first with this
Sandbags look
image.
weird.
Ayo, is that Mudahar? They'd sent messages back and forth for months, usually being flirty or inappropriate. Sure, they're weird and creepy, but you can say that for any leaked sexual exchanges. Not once does Haley push back against what Chud is saying, and she clearly removed context based on these screenshots. At one point, Chud says that he doesn't want to flirt with someone who's a young adult, with his limit being someone half his age plus 7. Chud was 34 at the time, meaning the youngest he'd flirt with is 24.
I asked her, you know, obviously I can't speak to someone that's underage. How old are you? And she said she was over 18. She didn't give me like a specific age.
Yeah.
But then later, when she came up with the kind of tweet about it, she said that she was 17 at the time.
So did she claim that you were like grooming her?
Yeah, that was the claim. And funnily enough, in the original allegation, which again you can see in the Destiny video, she never said, like she said herself, oh, I said that I was 18, and never really made a big deal out of this idea that I was some sort of pedophile. But that became the narrative. That became the narrative that grew up off the back of it.
So yeah, this Haley person lied about their age, and is now playing victim while trying to ruin Chud's career. Noah then makes fun of debate bro logic by using the term amphibophile.
Well, it's just inappropriate for me to be flirting with someone who is underage or even young like 18. It's supposed to be half your age plus 7. So yes, technically you guys got me. He's not a pedophile, he's an amphibophile. This is a meme. It's the debate lord meme that you are differentiating.
That definition is straight up dumb. It conflates that being attracted to 15-year-olds is the same as being attracted to 19-year-olds.
7. So yes, technically you guys got me. He's not a pedophile, he's an amphibophile.
Dude, I want to use slurs against you. Ebophile stretches to the age 19. No. The fuck out of here. Ebophile is not somebody who's attracted to 19-year-olds. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Okay, maybe it's dictionary definition. I don't care. He's Jesus fucking Christ.
Chud was flirting with someone he believed was an adult, so nothing he did was morally wrong. You can call him creepy, but in no way is Chud a groomer. And yes, Noah calls him that.
He's not a pedophile, he's an amphibophile, and a weirdo and a groomer. Because again, this was a fan of his in his Discord, who he reached out to personally as a 35-year-old man. And again, she was underage, but she lied about it, so not a pedophile. Just all those other things.
Again, she lied about her age maliciously to get attention from him. If he knew she was 17, then yes, you'd be right. But that's not the case and you know it. Plus, she could have been lying about her age there too to make him look worse.
He's an amphibophile and a weirdo and a groomer. Because again, this was a fan of his in
How is he a groomer?
his Discord, who he reached out to personally.
Who cares? Do you know what grooming is?
As a 35-year-old man. And
that doesn't make anybody a groomer. You realize that grooming is more than just talking to somebody younger than you, right? Like, grooming is an intentional, methodical process of setting up typically a child, typically up for sexual exploitation. Contacting somebody who's 18 years old, a fan of yours, is not grooming. Just because they like you because they're your fan already, doesn't mean that you've groomed them. Or are you going to start making videos about groupies? I would love to see the videos about people who make music and how they are raping all their fans for having sex with those groupies. Okay, it's not grooming. It's just more like potentially building a relationship to sleep with somebody to get more comfortable with them before you potentially sleep with them or hit on them. It's not grooming.
Noah also tries calling out hypocrisy for me joking about his appearance.
wait a minute, the thumbnail of this video says that stranger danger with my face. He is just kind of doing that, isn't he? Ooh, ooh. I get called a pedophile every other day on my YouTube channel, and it's usually because of my mustache and my haircut. You know, pedo stash. It's sort of a classic insult.
Noah, you falsely calling Chud a pedo is in no way comparable to me making a goofy thumbnail. The issue here is that Noah lacks the ability to be charitable. If one of his friends was in Chud Logic's shoes, he'd defend them to the very end. But here he just has to go the extreme length to label someone he doesn't like a groomer. This just proves the dehumanization point I made in my original video. He's gotta label him the worst thing ever. No other YouTuber agrees with this take from Noah, not even Chud Logic's sworn enemies, Xander Hall and Keffels. And speaking of Keffels, Noah does a lot of downplaying in these videos, with one such case being Keffels. In my original video, I state that I think Keffels is way worse than Vosh, something Noah scoffs at. One of those defenders was Keffels, who in my opinion is way worse than Vosh.
Breaking, Rob's Media thinks Keffels is worse than Vosh. More at 11. Log off, log off, log off, please log off, please log off, please log off.
He basically ignores most of my criticisms of her, and only covers the thumbnail discourse. He doesn't think Keffels was acting in bad faith during her drama of Mudahar, and thinks that the thumbnail could have been seen as unintentionally transphobic.
Drawing people ugly or like fucked up looking manifests in different ways. It can manifest in exaggerating certain features, and those features can create caricature. You can imagine someone drawing a picture of someone trying to make them look ugly, and in that ugliness,
how can it be
making them into a
transphobic
racist
if it's
caricature?
unintentional?
And so one way I think this could be transphobic, not even necessarily intentionally, is drawing someone ugly by masculinizing their face, which is a very common way for transphobes to essentially try to paint trans women as
Yeah, but that's an
feminine.
intentional thing.
Do I
That's
think
not
the artist did that
unintentional.
intentionally? You know, I personally don't. I have no reason to believe that based on the history of the works of art he's done. But the transphobia in question here is more of a broader structure of types of things that happen. And I think that's a conversation worth having. This is a
So
conversation
they
that
didn't
needs to
do
be
it
had before
intentionally,
addressing all
and
the,
it
like,
wasn't
serious shit that this
unintentional,
person
like
did.
they
Probably not,
accidentally
but
did
you
it.
see
That's just
how
the
this
art
comes
style
off
they
here.
used to
That
make
was a
them
whole lot
look
of nothing.
gross.
He can't outright admit that what Keffels said was wrong, so he does this whole
So
thing
it
about
was
transphobic
you
art.
literally, it was
He and
nothing is the
Noah are like
problem
that
there. You
since,
literally
but women's art
said
wasn't
there
gonna
was
do
no
that.
problem.
He didn't make her face masculine. He just made her look tired and sweaty like everyone else. Keffels shouldn't have called that out. Also, Noah doesn't seem to think this is a trump card by Keffels, even though it was pretty much the only way she could actually go after Muda. She was using this to rile up her audience, and get them to baselessly attack Muda without hearing out his criticisms laid out in his video. Now, Noah doesn't really defend Keffels, but he really doesn't have much to say about her actions. I do think Keffels is worse than Vosh because she's negatively affected way more people. Remember, she scammed her fans out of 100 grand to go on vacation. Both are bad people, but Noah doesn't have the ability to say that. Surprisingly though, Noah has
No,
the
he's
courage
too attached to
defend
his
how
side.
Ethan
He
is
can't
online.
move past that.
At first, I was going to speculate on how Noah is defending Ethan is online and his girlfriend, Lex Updog, but in part 4, he flat out admitted to wanting to do so, at least for Ethan. Once Noah begins covering my take on the Super Mega drama, he recommends a video by Unpoetic Justice. I want to give one more example of these guys weaponizing their audiences with malicious intent, the Super Mega drama. I won't get too detailed into this, because there's loads of other videos that do a good job at that.
Okay, I'm not gonna either because exactly, there's way too much content on this. Probably the best piece of content I saw about this whole thing was from a YouTuber called
I mean,
Poetic Justice.
he's
I think
just
it's
another
famous content,
one of
so you
these
should go watch
breadtuber
that.
guys, but
That's
they're
my
masquerading as
What
somebody more
take does she
reasonable.
have? Well, she does agree that Matt and Ryan were unfairly targeted, but also sympathizes with Lex, and never criticizes her actions. Because even if you agree that Lex was assaulted, the way her and her friends handled everything else in this drama was poor. Justice mainly just goes after Nick, and commentary channels like Lyrics are critical of Lex. She doesn't show the more egregious shit Lex did, like her livestream with Ethan where they celebrate Super Mega's sub-loss. Just like Noah, she pretends to be nuanced in order to subtly defend her side. What really got me wanting to make this response is this part in Noah's second video.
But Rob's argument here is just fucked up. I didn't see anyone even making this argument.
Throughout this drama, they pretty much use the topic of SA to motivate their audience to cancel Super Mega.
He doesn't show how that happens in this video. And so, from what I remember, there's a lot of disputes about the specifics of these stories, but the essay itself isn't one of them. Which again, just go watch this video, you'll learn a thing or two. Alright, so anyways, in conclusion, audiences being weaponized, I don't think so. Other than when Vosh did the thing, using trans people in his audience as a shield against the fact that he was doing show-related activities, that was definitely audience weaponization. The rest of these, I simply disagree. But that's just my opinion. This has been Drama Boy time, silly Drama Boy time. Make sure to go outside, and bye.
Notice anything? Yeah, Noah completely cut me out of context. Throughout this drama, they pretty much use the topic of SA to motivate their audience to cancel Super Mega, even holding a live stream on Ethan's second channel to celebrate. This was pretty gross behavior, especially when Matt and Ryan's late friend Daniel was brought up. Lex alleged that the two would make jokes about his passing, which they denied. Even if they did, who cares? They're allowed to make jokes about their trauma. I mean, Ryan was the one who found his body. I then show Ryan talking about how their mention of Daniel negatively affected him, and then mention how Daniel's goodbye video was bombarded by negative comments.
Shit.
Noah cut out an entire minute and a half
I'm
of my
so
video
close
because he didn't
now.
know how to argue
It's
with
so
my points.
close.
He just shows the beginning of my
Oh my
argument and not my
God,
example to make me
bro.
look bad. And just like Justice, he doesn't show the live stream with Ethan and Lex. This is downright malicious and hypocritical, as Noah has criticized others for way less.
He just cut that line right out. And this is important, right? Because this line directly refutes Sean's narrative that Illy is promoting obesity. This phrase, dietary restrictions, rules out the more extreme situations that Sean is referring to when he says that this will cause viewers to eat themselves into an early grave.
And for those who haven't seen TBYS's response, he cut out that line for copyright reasons, and because it was an "I'm not saying" clause that has nothing to do with his main argument. What Noah cut from my video does contribute to my argument, which is that the main accusers against Super Mega were weaponizing serious claims to destroy their careers. Noah will complain about 3 seconds being cut, but will cut a minute and a half of my video because it makes his friends look bad. And yes, him and Ethan are friends. Noah cuts out other parts of my video, but the only other egregious one is him removing my criticisms of Sneeko to make me look biased. While talking about Ethan's sketchy coverage of the Ava Chris Tyson situation, I made this joke which Noah takes offense to. Your recency bias should apply. God, he looks like a Courage the Cowardly Dog villain.
Okay. Jesus, dude. I'm trying to take this thing seriously, and then randomly he'll throw stuff in like that. What's up with that, man? You know, there's a cottage industry of videos out there dunking on Ethan is online, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in those videos that is fucked up, and it's just very normalized, so.
This guy is not unique. There's like 500 of this exact dude. They got the same politics, the same IQ, the same smugness, but you know what they've not got? They've not got his blood cholesterol percentage. They've not got his BMI score, and he can't take that away from him.
I think I'll probably do a separate video called In Defense of Ethan is Online, because regardless of what you personally think of a guy, I feel like the amount of backlash he's received is very much not proportional to the crimes in question, at least from what I've seen, such as examples such as this.
Yes, Noah wants to make a video defending Ethan is online. The hate Ethan gets is pretty reasonable, and it's not just coming from commentary channels. A lot of leftists heavily dislike this guy for valid reasons too. He spreads lies and false allegations to help cancel a YouTube channel his friends don't like. He's willing to defend pedos in order to criticize Alex Rosen. He labels anyone of slightly different opinions as far right in order to demonize them to his audience. And he's just as hateful as those he criticizes, making targeted attacks and completely dismissing valid criticism. If you want to die on that hill of Ethan, go ahead. But I'm telling you now, Noah, that video will not go well. I also love how he plays that clip from Big Bungie here. This legitimately made me laugh out loud, holy shit. Bungie says way more edgy shit in this video, so I wouldn't be surprised if Noah only watched the intro and thought that was way too much for him.
Another character that Ethan has tried to take down with his finite wit and intellect was Alex Rosen. So what happened here is that Ethan saw this guy go on Matt Walsh or some other Daily Wire show, and after that he researched him and said, what does this guy do? Oh, he arrests pedophiles? Guess I'm down with the pedophiles. Team pedo for life.
I find this all interesting because of how bizarre Noah's takes on edgy humor are. I briefly talked about safe edginess in my original video, and Noah has given me way more examples from his newer videos alone.
Did he just phase through the
He's
wall?
Inconsistent, thinking certain things are okay to say,
What?
but others are completely unacceptable. For instance, Noah will take the time to justify his edgy death threat tweets, trying to explain the joke to his audience. But what really got him banned was this tweet describing how he killed Elon Musk.
Oh, this one was a banger, man. Elon Musk, I will kill you to death with a knife and a gun and a bomb and a nuke. Parody, 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 parody. You know, I don't really miss using Twitter, but I miss the way that it would frame my brain into cooking up some good shit, because this is a good tweet. This was also around the time where people were kind of pushing the limit on tweeting to see like what would get them banned, because I think Elon had just taken over, or people were getting banned for like random reasons.
I never had a problem with this by itself. My issue is that he clearly doesn't think it's okay for people to say edgy shit against him, or people he likes. I mean, he just saw him pearl clutch over Ethan being called fat, and in another video he takes offense to Think Before You Sleep calling him a retard.
There is no way someone who has not suffered multiple head injuries can be this retarded. Okay, so where to begin with this one? I guess the R slur, why use that? I'm pretty sure this guy's like 35. What are you doing, man? If you think that I'm wrong about something, or if you have criticism, there's a lot of other words you can use to transmit that thought. It still always catches me off guard on the internet, because there's a lot of spaces that just throw this shit around all the time. You can just use a different word and then not alienate a large subset of the population.
Okay, but is he wrong?
Who the
though?
fuck am I
Also,
alienating
as an
by
autistic
saying that?
guy,
I'm
it goes on the retard
so tired of
pass.
that
If you
shit.
need proof, here's my Lego collection. I am indeed worthy to give out the pass. Now, based on what Noah said in his next video, he clearly isn't that offended by the word. In fact, he says he used to say it. He's doing this to appeal to his audience. This is what I meant by
I
the fake
too
nice guy
have the
shtick.
pass.
If you're going to be performative like
Because
this,
I
you
own
probably
many
should be
magic
justifying the edgy
cards.
tweets he made about wanting to kill people you don't like. The issue here is that Noah clearly only thinks it's okay for those on his side of the aisle to say edgy stuff. If someone he hates does it, then they're the worst person ever. I mean, this is the guy pretending to be disgusted by Chud Logic's messages, which amount to sex jokes. But him saying how he'd murder Elon Musk is a-okay.
I think I got banned for this one, and then
Bro, it's just like, people are showing receipts of you saying insane shit, and you're like cope laughing about it. Like saying, yeah, this one's a banger. Like highlight reel. Like, dude, you're just openly saying like this guy should be killed in the streets. It's just so cringe. Especially coming from someone like this. Or if like Ben Shapiro tweeted this shit out about some trans person. Bro, this would be a full 40-minute cinematic experience analysis video on your channel. Showing how he's this fascist.
True,
if he tweeted out something like that.
Noah also downplays the consent comment made by Jake Doolittle, which he tries to excuse as out of context, despite the original comment being made out of nowhere. Though Jake turned off the comments and edited out part of the video that made him look bad, that being the weird consent comment.
There's a possibility that you can't do certain things, like bench an unconsenting girl, right, Orange Peanut?
Huh? You want to repeat that one for me, Jake?
okay, yeah, the thing was removed, so I don't know what that was in response to, but he removed that part of the video, right? He said something, he was criticized for it, and then he took it out. He deleted it. Did he do it to make himself look good? I mean, maybe.
Probably. I mean, the fact that he added it in the first place is far too comfortable. It's definitely inappropriate.
But also, maybe.
There's no justifier for that type of, there's no justifier for that, ever. It's, just to be clear. What the fuck?
Maybe he just did it because he made a mistake, you know? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you're downplaying that mistake. It's a widow sussy that you're downplaying that one. A little too much for me, all right? A little too much downplaying on that one, buddy. Okay?
Very woke and cancel culture of you, Mr. Rob, to hold people to the mistakes that they have rescinded. See, there it is.
Okay, again, this one's a pretty big mistake. This one completely ruins the tempo of this entire video for you. If you're gonna downplay somebody, like just insinuating somebody's a rapist because they don't agree with them, that's a pretty suspicious baka move, in my opinion. Okay. It's not really hypocritical. That's,
Walter,
but okay.
you
I
sussy
guarantee you Noah
baka.
doesn't think it's bad when his friends say awful things like that. I mean, he's pals with Hassan Piker, who constantly makes disgusting remarks.
Friend of the show, Noah Sampson.
I mean, here's him justifying the rape of spoiled rich girls.
At least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire, wasp fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like in some respects, you know, from a
I like how
utilitarian
his chat never pushes back on this shit.
You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
But I can guarantee you that during his Ethan defense video, he'll call out edgy jokes made by Big Bungie. What Hassan said
Hassan's chat never pushes back on him. They just fucking agree.
Statements like that, but will plead if the mods of livestream fails for them to delete posts making fun of him. Noah's friend Bad Abanada also makes edgy statements, like this one that I don't even want to read. Do you think that's okay to say, Noah? Because if it's bad to call Ethan fat, then you should think it's bad for your friends to make even worse statements. The main reason why I decided to make this video is because Noah flat out defends Bana Panada, though he pretends to be willfully ignorant. I called out Noah's association of Bana Panada because the guy is notorious for doxing and harassing his opponents, and Panada being a horrible person is pretty widely accepted. Even tankies hate the guy. In fact, Noah himself admitted 2 years ago that he thinks Empanada is a bad person. For context, this is from his Debate Bros video, where he shows a clip of Bad Empanada criticizing Vosh.
Did you really just cite Bad Empanada in your video? Looks like you've lost me. That guy is a bad person. Everybody knows that.
Me citing a clip of Bad Empanada saying something that's objectively true is not an endorsement of everything that he's done on the internet. Please stop being a fucking baby. Just look at the meme, okay? Look at the meme.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's really helpful for me, actually.
I'm slowly swinging around your baby's crib so you can gently fall asleep.
Okay, thank you.
Now I do concur that agreeing with someone's take is not a direct endorsement. That's why I didn't show that clip in my last video. Because in that first video I showed a clip of Xander Hall criticizing Noah, and it's obvious that I don't endorse Xander Hall, because he's a moron. But now, Noah is defending Bana Panada's actions, and claiming he needs better evidence that the guy is a terrible person.
Is he a known doxer, though? As far as I know, that's not true. I've never seen evidence of that, but I could be wrong about that. So let's see what Rob has to substantiate his claim that Bad Empanada is a known doxer. First up is a tweet exchange. It's Drew Pablo says, Bad Empanada is now messaging me personally to threaten to post my home address and sue me for defamation. And then there's a quote tweet from Bad Empanada that says, I'm not going to post your home address or phone number, Drew, but maybe the people who keep sending them to me will. So first thing is that there's no screenshot provided here for the DMs that this person Drew references of Bad Empanada supposedly threatening to post his information. That would be doxing, and those DMs would be a threat of doxing, but you can't make that claim just because this guy said that it happened.
So here are those DMs where Bad Empanada threatens to dox Drew's family, and shares a phone number. Luckily, this phone line was cut. Here's another tweet of Empanada threatening him. Here's him threatening to dox another person. And here's Empanada threatening someone and saying they should kill themselves. My question is, if Noah knew 2 years ago that Bad Empanada is a bad person, what changed? What made Noah change his mind? Because Empanada never changed. In fact, just a week prior to Noah releasing this video, Empanada got banned on Twitter again for leaking Drew's phone number. It's obviously been taken down now, but there's still remnants of this tweet online with the original caption. Even if he got this off Google, that doesn't make things better. Do you think Sniperwolf got Jack's phone's address on the dark web? No. She got it off Google. She's still revealing personal information to harass someone she doesn't like. Bad Empanada isn't doing this to seek legal action like Noah later suggests. He's just being a dick. If he really was trying to seek legal action, he should just hire a private investigator instead of doing things publicly. Now this next part I'm going to assume Noah doesn't know about. After I released my original video, Empanada faked a tweet to make me look like a pedophile, and he admitted it's fake, as he had a Freudian slip moment in my comment section. Someone asked why Empanada would make that fake tweet, and he explained why I felt pushing back on it being called fake. He also admits here that the tweet is fake. His reasoning is because he claims I called him a pedophile, even though I merely said that someone else was alleging he was, and I just stated that the evidence against him isn't concrete. Could I have worded it better? Probably. but I never called him a pedo. He used this as justification to send his fans to harass me, though he deleted all of this once he realized I wasn't going to engage with him the way he wanted me to. He also sent me this DM calling me a child rapist, so that was nice of him. Noah, please stop defending this guy. If you like his videos, I won't take that away from you, but publicly associating with him is a bad look. Most people weren't criticizing you for wanting to go on that livestream because they're Zionists. It's because he's a bad look for the pro-Palestine movement. My main criticism still stands. You shouldn't be fond of Empanada's behavior, and then shit on TVYS by saying he's responsible for Illumination's doxing. All
Jesus.
that changes that I don't have to speculate on if these two are still friends. Noah confirms it and gives him a massive shout out. An issue with Noah's recent response videos is that he unintentionally proves people's criticisms right. I mean, in his response to Shredded Nerd, he doesn't disprove anything. He just spends 25 minutes nitpicking and not understanding jokes. His best argument is to portray his opponent as some chronically online loser who's envious of those around him. This coming from Noah is hilarious, as in his first response to me, he said it took him an hour and a half to record his reactions to 5 minutes of my video. God, that poor editor, having to edit through so much bullshit ramblings. Noah's audience doesn't seem to gel with this content from him, as I've seen numerous comments telling him this. A lot of them seem tired of Noah getting into pointless drama over and over again. So Noah, if you are watching this, I'm not saying to stop making these sorts of videos in general, just make videos of actual solid points instead of just nitpicking. Most of his critiques of my video can easily be chalked up to him having a different interpretation, or him being biased towards the people my criticisms are targeted at. Here's an example from my discussion of denims. Basically, she spends 2 hours slowly reviewing the drama, and cherry-picking the lousiest evidence to show to her audience.
Cherry picking is a risky accusation to make because it's kind of hard to prove. In order to prove this, that she was cherry picking, you would need to go through the stream and show examples where she deliberately ignored certain evidence in favor of less tangible evidence. She might have been doing that, but we have no idea because he just calls it cherry picking, does not show how that happens, and because he's the one making that charge, I don't have to go through all of Denim's stream to try and debunk it because he's not showing it.
The thing is, Noah, I went out of my way to archive the entire 2-hour segment. I also made a separate video, which I mentioned in this BreadTuber video, where I go over this point in more detail. I linked to my archive in the description of both, which has timestamps for people to follow along. And my more in-depth coverage came out 2 weeks before Noah posted this, so he probably knows. Stuff like this is the average argument he makes. I'm not saying everything he said is incorrect, but he does a bad job explaining himself. Like, I do agree that I could do a better job at showcasing the examples I have, though unlike Noah and many other YouTubers, I link to the videos I talk about. My overall issue with him is Noah's artificial nuance. He pretends to be unbiased, but instead downplays or defends those on his side. I mean, the only person in my video that he outright condemns is Bosch, and rightfully so. Though it's clear he's still butthurt about losing that debate from 2.5 years ago, which is why he didn't want to debate Sean several months ago. I don't believe he's here to have an honest conversation. He's pissed he got mentioned in a video of 500,000 views, and wants to paint my arguments as weak in order to justify his own actions. The only time he apologizes for something is the comment forgetting he did to Xander Hall, but he still gives out excuses about how he only had 5,000
Damn.
I don't think he has the capability to apologize for something unless it's been a long enough time. I mean, I just found out he apologized for his video on Patience Xena in the comment section to Unpoetic Justice's video on the topic, and honestly, Patience's critiques of him are just as relevant as ever. Noah claims that her nuanced takes are artificial, when in reality, his are.
I don't know, you know, it worries me a little bit because this ecosystem of content, it thrives on the death of nuance.
No, Noah, your political views rely on the death of nuance. They rely on people not seeking out different perspectives and different information. The fact that you seem to feel the need to shelter your audience from alternative perspectives, and the fact that you seem to feel the need to shelter your audience from discovering different pieces of information kind of implies that your position relies on ignorance. It relies on your audience not knowing anything else outside of what you tell them. It relies on them not exploring other perspectives and not exploring other viewpoints on issues. If your views are so coherent and your views are so strong and you're so confident in your views, you should be very confident to allow your audiences to go and explore different perspectives and different opinions on issues with the confidence of knowing that they won't necessarily change their views. But if your views rely on no nuance because you don't encourage them to seek out different perspectives, then that kind of shows that you don't actually think they hold up on their own. If you have to police what your audience views and you have to tell them what to avoid and what not to avoid, then quite clearly they're quite flimsy. Because if all it takes is one of your viewers to watch a video like mine or watch a video like Abram Preach to completely change their mind, then those views can't be that strong on their own, then can they?
Anyways, I don't know if Noah's actually going to respond back to this in any way. If he does, I'm sure he'll double down and not correct the record, especially in relation to Fan Empanada. In fact, that guy will definitely use this as an excuse to send another harassment campaign my way. Noah will just ignore that and pretend that the hate against Empanada is unjustified, just like with Ethan. To be honest, I wish that Noah did try to be fair, but his bias sticks out like a sore thumb. There's no point in trying to correct him anymore, so this should be the last video on him. If his takes in the Ethan defense video are as bad as I think they'll be, I'll mention it somewhere. And if he responds to this video, then I'll respond back in a community post. Thanks for watching, and if you want to hear my take on any of Noah's other points, you can ask in the comments below. I'll try to respond to as many as I can.
Cancer Crew. I too like listening to how bad Denim is.
Can we please be honest and recognize that there is a difference between grooming someone and you being a dumb 20-year-old sending inappropriate memes to try and be edgy and funny?
If you haven't yet seen my first video on Denims, I recommend you check it out. It's not a necessity for this video, but it gives added context. All you need to know is that she's a leftist political streamer who latches herself onto the communities of bigger streamers like Hassan Piker. She has a history of saying some outlandish things, some of which I missed in my first video, and others were said afterwards. Knowing her, this will continue until she inevitably becomes irrelevant. This is the continued degeneracy of Denims TV.
As long as she has her tits,
Exposition,
she'll be fine.
YouTuber Think Before You Sleep made a video criticizing animation storyteller Illymation over a video she made relating to body positivity. Basically, she equates that there shouldn't be any moral stigma around being unhealthy, despite how disastrous that could be for someone's health. Illy would hear of his video rather quickly, and went on Discord to tell her followers to mass report his channel to get him deplatformed. This wasn't known until much later though. What was known is that she made a Tumblr post basically saying the same thing. TBYS would then make 2 additional videos on the drama, as he wanted people to know what was going on. Before Noah Samson's video on the drama, Denims tried giving her opinion on stream. Knowing her, she has insane levels of bias here, as during the first minute of the segment, she says this.
Friend of the channel, Illymation. I didn't know she was.
Haha, okay.
I met her through Sabrina actually, and she's such a sweetheart. She's just, I mean, anyone that's friends with Sabrina is an amazing person, except me, I'm cringe. But don't tell her that. Sabrina has no idea that I'm actually a really cringe nerd. So let's keep that on the DL, guys, okay? I have to maintain that friendship, okay? So that I can feel cool and not cringe.
Nope, you're still cringe, Denims. But as you heard, she has incredible bias towards her friends, and will attempt to stick up for them in the laziest way possible.
Isn't Think Before You Sleep one of the incel channels? Yes. Yes, that's the guy who got absolutely destroyed by Noah Samson, where he like just fucking ruined his life.
He didn't.
Just making fun of him, making him look like a complete idiot. It's also the guy who sounds like Ben Shapiro, where he's like,
Wow, the first thing I'd like to say is that I don't appreciate that this woman is a woman.
This is pretty much the whole stream. She just makes fun of TBYS's voice and says he's an incel, all because he politically differs from being a radical leftist like Denims. And if you don't believe me that she's radical, she's a Keffel's defender, agreed that America deserved 9/11 unironically, tried downplaying the Balenciaga scandal, and more as shown in my first video. Now I won't bore you with the details of the stream, as the segment alone is 4 hours, but I do need to play this part.
In case anything happens, I thought I would let everyone know what's up. Thanks to a viewer, it has come to my attention that earlier today, Alyssa from the channel Illumination has.
Ooh, Anissa Joma.
The internet is a forever archive, so there's no.
I love listening to iDubbbz drama.
Anissa is just trying to.
Mostly because iDubbbz doesn't make good content anymore. It's not even necessarily him making not making edgy shit. It's just that his content is worse now. Is this a song? No way.
iDubbbz used to be the exposer, but now he about to be exposed. Once a master of his domain, but Anissa came along, turned his life upside down, controlling every move. Stop being toxic, she's got him on a tight leash. No more content cop episodes, no more Kickstarter crash, no slurs dare escape his brain. I apologize. Anissa got an OnlyFans, she's showing skin for cash. She'd rather take her clothes off for her patrons, but not her husband's. Viewers down, subs down, time to close up shop. So they started a podcast to humiliate poor and their viewers withering away like his precious hairline. Cupcakes, all I gloves, you're feeling emasculated. Tattoos and a mullet.
Damn. Damn. That's good. That was good. No way.
I'm sorry to everyone.
That fucking iDubbbz picture.
It keeps me on a leash. I need to be on a leash because I am unhinged.
Welcome back to Idiot Influencer.
Yeah, he should've.
Today we'll be exploring
He
the
really
past and
should've.
present of Anissa Jomha, the wife of iDubbbz who keeps getting herself into controversy after controversy. For the past few years, she's been devolving into a lol cow, with only a few fans lingering around. I think it's time I do a massive video on her, detailing her tumultuous online career, going from a simp wrangling streamer, to an edgy debater, an adult content creator, and finally becoming the laughingstock of the wider commentary community. This is Anissa and her history of hypocrisies and scandals. Anissa's online career began around 2014 to 2015, with her being inspired to do live streams by Casey Tron.
Like, I got lucky as shit. I was like working 2 jobs. Like I was poor, like poor. Like I was eating oatmeal for every meal, and then my one friend, literally, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is not a joke, Casey. You're the reason why I started streaming because I had a friend that was like,
You've told me this.
Girl, yeah, she made $200. I was like, $200. I was like, I could buy like more groceries, and so I went into debt. I like got a computer, which like not smart at all to do. Got a computer and I started streaming, and I got really lucky.
Casey Tron herself has been doing live streaming since 2012, doing what many would describe as booby streaming, where she would pretend to be a ditzy gamer girl in order to pull a young male audience. They tended to wear low-cut shirts and other slightly revealing outfits, hence the name. Anissa was definitely one of these streamers, going by the name Rainbow Kids. She'd stream herself playing League of Legends, eventually reaching 200,000 followers on Twitch by mid-2016. Her type of content did attract loads of trolls though, so she enlisted the help of various moderators. One of these moderators happened to be Anissa's own
The
mother,
moderators.
which has been confirmed by Maureen herself. Kotaku would post an article about this in July of 2016 called "The Mom Who Moderates Her Daughter's Rowdy Twitch Chat," where Anissa's mom is mentioned by name as being her daughter's biggest moderator. The article mentions these fans quite
Does she get
heavily,
paid? Does she
saying,
pay her mom?
many of whom originally subscribed for something other than her gameplay. No boobo showing, no me watching. Cam whore, where are your nipples? In fact, a counter on Rainbow Kid's channel estimates that her breasts have been mentioned in Twitch chat nearly 30,000 times.
Yeah, that's the point.
Until recently, Rainbow Kids wore a double push-up bra, highlighting her cleavage for her audience. Viewers would pay real money to have their commentary of her read out loud, much of which was deliberately offensive. Anissa's mom is quoted as saying, "She was what you'd call a booby streamer, were you to attract viewers to your stream. Trolls, who come to harass or hit on female streamers." This article also describes the pair's past conflict, as Anissa had a habit of skipping school and sneaking out. What's most shocking is that Anissa didn't know this person was her mom at first, but liked her presence in chat and promoted her. It's just so bizarre, man. I mean, imagine
It is
having a
kinda
mom
weird.
trying to defend you from internet trolls while being a titty streamer. And the thing is, Maureen is still defending Anissa online. She just does it under random names. I'll be showing this throughout the video, but she's been seen replying to Anissa and arguing with many of her critics. Here she defends Anissa by stating, "Anissa has never shamed booby streamers. She started out as one, by the way." Here's some more tweets that she made in 2020 following the OF drama. What's really disgusting is how terribly researched this video is, all based on strawman arguments, clips taken out of context, 3 to 4-year-old content cherry-picked from female Ian Stan hate websites, and an obsessed female streamer. The creator of this video responded by highlighting various Anissa hypocrisies, to which Maureen claps back with, "Again, not true. You need to find another witch to burn. You might get sued for defamation and slander." This here is Anissa's response to Leafy being banned, which her mom backed her up on. Remember this Pied Piper account. Again, it'll be important later.
Oh, fuck.
Kiwi Farm users were able to piece together that these accounts do belong to Maureen, as they replied to Anissa and her haters a ridiculous amount of times.
The Pied Piper is
And I
her
mean, it's
mom.
100% factual that her mom would do stuff like this, based on that Kotaku article. Now a comment thread about this video is about how secretly insecure Anissa is about the content she makes. At the slightest bit of criticism, not even targeted at her specifically, she can't handle it. In late 2017, YouTuber Pyrocynical released a video titled "Worst Twitch Girls," where he makes fun of bland content made by booby streamers. Anissa was never mentioned in that video, but the fact that she herself was considered one made her self-conscious. This is her reaction to it.
Did you see Pyrocynical's video about Twitch girls, lol?
No, I don't give a shit about Pyro's fucking ass, dude. Like, Pyro can suck on my fucking nut. Why do you want me to see that so
It's
bad?
weird to see her look
I don't watch
normal,
any of his
to be
stuff.
honest.
How to respect women. Excuse me, sir. Do you respect women? I mean, you can just see with this clip, look how small the screen is for the game. Jesus. And I know that mentality that's been presented before, don't like it, don't watch it. The problem is, you're bringing a lot of kids onto the
Why do people always make that argument? Like, there's no way when she's playing the actual game that it's that size. Like, what the hell is that? What is that? Everybody always makes that point. Like it's fact that, like, if the screen is small in the section that they show in the video, that, like, that's how the game screen is the whole time.
Just her yapping about one small point Pyro made, since she doesn't have any valid arguments against his other points. Something I've noticed about Anissa is her propensity to rewrite the past whenever it's convenient for her.
I
During her
need the
edgelord
PM9
phase,
now.
She tried spinning the notion that her doing booby streaming was one elaborate troll effort. She once tweeted, "I used to do cleavage streams to troll bait and create an interesting dichotomy between viewer and streamer. Now I can't compete. I remember a simpler time when a bit of boob was enough to troll bait. Now you have to be naked. Darwinism of the female streamer in action." Well, she was right about one thing. Just love how she's taken the moral high ground here about never stooping that low. And then only a few years later, she began taking lewd photos on OF. There's also a tweet made around early 2017.
The progression
during
of the
Tana
female
drama,
streamer.
Where she said Tana's outfit was more revealing than the stuff she wore during her booby streaming days. This is hilarious because even back then, she was posing in photos of her underwear out. She's not fooling anyone here. This wasn't her trolling people like what Casey Tron was doing. She was an unironic titty streamer, who rebranded after the genre became too oversaturated and she couldn't compete.
Yeah. A good way to put it.
Many don't know this, but before Anissa began dating iDubbbz, she was with someone known as Acadian. Now I bring this guy up because their relationship seemed to have ended poorly, and Anissa seemingly cheated on him. Acadian was a fellow League of Legends streamer who's been involved in many tournaments, which I found a few archives of.
So I have to
He's
get the
pretty much inactive
PM9.
at this point,
That's
but was
literally
at his
it.
prime around 2016. I'm not sure
Once I
when
get the
you two started
PM9, I'm
dating,
set.
but it was probably around September 2015. I keep hearing rumors that he was 17 years old at the time, but I haven't found proof of this. Liquipedia says he was 18 at the time, but either way, Anissa was 24 years old. Anyways, Anissa began talking to a YouTuber named iDubbbz around mid-2016, which Acadian apparently knew about. He probably thought the relationship was sound and nothing would go wrong. I mean, Anissa even drew art of them as a couple, which she traced over. Classy. They went to TwitchCon that year, where Anissa booked their
nice.
hotel for an extra day by accident. She herself said this in a Q&A video she uploaded to her YouTube channel in January 2017.
How did you and Ian meet? I was in San Diego for TwitchCon, and I, being an idiot, accidentally booked a extra night and an extra day
Damn,
in San
that sucks.
Diego. So TwitchCon was over, everybody was gone, and I was stuck in the hotel alone with nothing to do.
She describes meeting up with Ian, who lived in San Diego, and going out to lunch with him. She describes an awkward interaction with him in their car, insinuating she had a crush on him.
As soon as I left the Jeep, I was thinking to myself, this human is never interacting with me again. I fucked it. Like, this is over. And and I guess he was thinking the same thing. He thought that I didn't like him and he fucked it up. So when he got home, I guess he was fighting with himself whether to text me or not because he thought that it was like completely done. But he decided to message me anyways, and he said, hey, I made it home safe. And the amount of relief that I was like, holy shit, this human is still talking to me, it was unbelievable. We didn't stop talking. That whole night we talked until we fell asleep, and then ever since then we've just been pretty much inseparable.
She was still publicly dating Acadian, by the way. They wouldn't break up until a few weeks later, where Acadian slightly alluded to it on Twitter with this tweet. Rolling on the floor laughing, what the fuck, I actually hate girls. Probably won't be streaming / active for a while until I get back to a good place mentally. Sorry guys. On November 4th, he'd vague post about it on stream.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I would say like right now, in terms of like mentally, I'm not
That
in the
sucks.
best state.
I feel bad for him.
I can't really explain, but I'm just like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know if any of you guys can like resonate with me or like feel me on this, but I'm just fucking pissed off all the time. Like, I'm just angry. Like,
Yeah,
every day,
you're angry at yourself,
as soon as I wake up, like, I'm
angry
just
at the
fucking
world,
angry.
angry at the other people.
I don't know how to stop being like, the only thing I can do is just distract myself with like League of Legends or doing shit like, I don't know, man. I'm just fucking mad.
Apparently in the same stream, which is lost, he flat out said that he blocked Anissa. A fan mentioned this to her on Twitter a few days later. And if you still don't believe me that she cheated on him, Anissa's anniversary with Ian always falls around late September to early October, the exact time TwitchCon happened in 2016. Now, I myself became aware of Anissa around 2018. Ian never really mentioned her much online, though the relationship was still known. Ian had a habit of pranking her while streaming, which, to be honest, are probably the only times they were entertaining.
Play Nickelback non-stop for hours on end. I will want to die, I guarantee you.
You talking shit about Nickelback, bitch! You talking shit about Nickelback?
Oh my god, you're making my hands tingle.
Anissa was also instrumental in the creation of the Tana Mojo content comp.
Tana
where she came up with
Mongoose.
the idea and filmed this infamous moment.
Tana Muju.
Before the content comp episode was released, she talked on Discord with her closest fans about it. Here, she admits that it was her idea, and that Ian doesn't even hate Tana. This seems true, as Anissa seems to be the one who hates Tana.
And it's funny
In fact,
because,
she even tries to shade her by saying she was only wearing a
fucking
bra,
what's her
which
name?
is rich coming from
Tana
Anissa.
Mojo doesn't even give a
Anissa
shit
had quite a bit of
anymore.
these
It's
Discord
like,
messages leaked,
I don't
which
fucking
shows the
care.
very
I
superficial
probably
relationship
deserved
with
it.
fans.
I felt like I
She
deserved
has a
it.
horrible habit
It's
of
literally
repeating
what she
really
said.
trivial stuff about herself, or embarrassing things about Ian. For instance, here's her admitting she wants to mooch off Ian's money. Here's more, where she talks about how disapproving her mother is about the guy she dates. She alludes to a past boyfriend her mom liked that was jacked and rich. But Anissa wasn't that into him because he was cheap. Here she tells her fans that Ian peed on her while they were in the shower together. In another set of messages, she tells her fans about how gross Ian is, and wishes he would clean more often. The reason why he didn't is because he would do gross shit on purpose for his videos. And worst of all, the messages where she threatens to break up with Ian. Why would she consider this? Well, because he was too focused on his YouTube career. Yeah, as soon as the content cop thing was coming close, he just switched gears, and it wasn't even like I existed. I think I'm breaking up with Ian. After our first relationship scare on our last trip, I was a lot better and Ian seemed happier. But after I left, it seemed like Ian's opinion on things didn't change much. He hadn't called me in 4 days and we had barely talked. She then talks about how Ian's afraid of commitment and how hard this long distance relationship has been. He's at PewDiePie's house. He said, "I will call you with my answer when I get back," so about 2-3 hours. But I think I'm right to finally putting my foot down. What she's referring to is when Ian flew to the UK to work on the Ricegum diss track with Felix and Boyna Band. Anissa is seemingly just freaking out over nothing, as I'm sure Ian was just busy and there was a time zone difference. She speculates the issue is Ian's YouTube ego, yet also admits that he's desperate and won't find someone else like her. Her chatters are giving her relationship advice throughout. Anissa mentions talking with Ian's sister.
Yeah, that's a
I just
great
find it
thing
so
to
bizarre
do.
that
Good
she's
idea.
sending all this private
Good
chat straight on
idea,
Discord.
bro.
Could she not just do this with her mom or a close friend? I also find it so strange that instead of having an honest conversation with Ian,
I'm just
she
trying to
immediately
get through as
talks
many
to
of these as
strangers.
possible to get the
I think now
PM9.
is a good time to bring up another important character in her story, Chris Reagan.
If I don't get this,
Chris
it's
was
gonna
mainly popular
I'm
around
gonna burn through
2016
so
during
much
the
fucking
anti-SJW era, making
money
edgy content in a similar
from
vein
this
to
shit.
Ian. Him and Anissa have long been friends, with Chris appearing on her streams to chat. I'm not sure when this started, but many of
No,
the clips I found seem to be
bro,
around
no.
2017. Many of these interactions are awkward, as Anissa would ask Chris bizarre and sexual questions.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever done in the bed? I've had sex in an elevator before.
What?
Have you had sex in an
Why just
Not in an
say that? I can see it make Chris Reagan like not like comfortable. It's so weird. It's so weird, dude. Please stop.
I don't know if I could really. Do you not have anything? Chris is lame. No,
Oh no, I feel so fucking bad for him.
Yeah, that's not weird, is it? I've never done that. I wouldn't just qualify it as weird though. It's like I shoved a dildo in my ex-boyfriend's ass once. Oh my god.
Their interactions are always awkward. It's like two 5th graders trying to flirt. It's even weirder whenever Chris's girlfriend at the time, Lacey Green, is mentioned. Anissa just gets in, usually spiteful, but hides it with jokes.
Are you still going to New York? Are you still going to New York for that concert? Yes. Are you sure you haven't canceled it? Are you sure you haven't canceled it? Because you found the love of your life? You found the Pocahontas to your John Smith?
So the what the fuck? So was she just a cat clout chasing goblin the whole time?
She's your Pocahontas. You come from two different worlds. What if Lacey this whole time has teeth in her vagina and she's waiting for the right time to like... Well, I mean, I feel like I would know if there were teeth, you know? But what if they're like cat's claws where they come out?
What the fuck?
Yeah, they retract. Oh yeah, do you eat Lacey's ass? What the fuck?
Why is she like this?
Fucking conversation. Wait, look it. I asked my chat yesterday. I said, "Do you think Chris eats Lacey's ass?" And everybody was like, "Yes." There was like no hesitation. It was like 100% yes. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, Chris. You didn't deserve this.
No. Are you sure? Am I sure?
Are you sure?
Fries in your face while I asked that question. She made good points. Lacey made good points. Thanks.
Weirdest of all is when Anissa calls Lacey a cunt.
And I was like, you cunt, you know who I am, piece of shit.
2 podcasts in a row, that's terrible.
Well, I mean, it's been a fucking month.
No, but it'd still be in a row.
Fine, we'll get your fucking cunted girlfriend on here.
Now I love flinging the old C word around, but you probably shouldn't be saying that about
It
your
feels
friend's
very
significant
spiteful.
other.
Oh,
Chris doesn't seem to like
oh
it,
no.
but he's probably too nice to say anything about it. Now there's a theory that's been going around for years now that Anissa
Oh
wants to get
no,
rid of
bro.
Chris and
What's
would
going
try to get
on?
to do
What's
so,
with my stability
pretty much
issues?
doing what she did to Acadian. In those Discord messages,
Maybe it's
she
because
said
I've been on
Chris
this
and
game
Ian
so
publicly
long,
defend
man.
her, but Chris would. She also visited Chris.
Maybe
in
it's all the
New York
shit
about
I
Ian,
bought.
and they made a big vlog out of it. Many of the more recent comments made cheating jokes, while others pointed out how uncomfortable Chris seems during parts of the video.
I'd be fucking uncomfortable too.
Yeah. You're good. You're great.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Showering, and then going to Chris's, and then we're gonna stream tonight.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. He looks dead inside. Like she's sucking the soul from his body.
That was a little bit of I didn't want to clap because I didn't want to miss it, like hit the food.
In another stream of Chris, Anissa mentions that her mom wants the two of them to get together.
Yeah, my mom tried to get me to my mom was like, Chris? You should talk to Chris? Like a year and a half ago when you started talking to me.
Her mom seems to be very set on their relationship for some reason.
Mom, I know nothing of Chris other than he likes to play racial chess. But apparently that was enough.
Speaking of Anissa's mom, here's 2 old tweets from her, where she seemed bothered by Chris's relationship with Lacey. Anissa herself has made a few tweets being a bit flirty of Chris. Mind you, she was publicly dating Ian by this point. I don't think they were fucking or anything, but she definitely has a thing for him. And I say that in present tense for a reason I'll get to later. What seems to be happening here is that Anissa is really into nerds. Something she said publicly, but thought Ian was too focused on YouTube. She probably had a better connection with Chris, but didn't like the fact that he was with Lacey. Another theory I have late started changing her personality and hobbies to match who she was dating. She got into sports due to an older relationship, got into streaming and playing League thanks to Acadian, and got into making edgy content due to Ian, though unlike Ian, he was never successful at it.
She's like a
By
changeling.
2018, Anissa was still regularly streaming, though she'd focused more on reacting to other people's content and discussing it. Because she was expressing her opinions more, she was opening herself up to loads of new scrutiny.
Whatever. At least it's a different gun this time. I'll take that as a win. As bad as it is.
She seemed to contradict herself a lot. Here's a clip from a video she made in early
Fucking
2017.
hell, bro.
I'm surprised that car can hold up.
Is there even a
The
PM9
crash test
in there?
rating on that car must be amazing. It's nice to know that the car can handle that kind
Bruh.
of weight without denting. To our knowledge, it might have dented actually. Who knows? I mean, I guess this is good because. She's
Oh wow,
fit.
I'm surprised he survived that.
And then here's a stream clip from that same year.
Sarah Silverman's got to be the most unlikable. I'm surprised that she gets less hate than that whale.
I don't know what the time limit is on weapons. That is immune injection. Okay. Not what I want. Kind of annoying.
Now, most people
Everything's annoying at this point. Not getting the PM9 is annoying.
My issue here is that only months later, Anissa would release a video titled, "What's Wrong with Fat People at the Gym?" where she tries to take the moral high ground. She tells a story about overhearing 2 women making fun of an overweight
Okay,
gym
hold on.
goer
Let me look
and
this
says
up to
halfway
see that it
through.
actually exists real
Any
quick.
bit of disgusting that they thought this woman was, if they would just
Can
look in the mirror,
you
hear what they were
get
saying,
the
that is a million times more disgusting than any
out
fucking
of
abomination I can even dream up. And I'm just sitting there flabbergasted at the idea that there's these 2 women actually ridiculing somebody who has the
VO6.
balls
I got a
to
random Reddit
get up
post.
and go to the gym and deal with the shitty people like them and still come back and better themselves.
It's a decent message, but the person delivering that message has no place to talk. And this isn't the only bit of hypocrisy. There's also her statements regarding YouTuber Venus Angelic.
I couldn't drink or eat
Okay, so the PM9 is in the box.
or drink, but I puked out anything I ate. Not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't keep it in my stomach. I puked about 10 to 15 times a day for about an entire month. So what the fuck? You'd be dead! You would be dead! If you puked 10 times a day for a month, you would be dead! You wouldn't be alive. That's a lie. There's no way you could put that. That's what? That's not real. There's no way. You'd literally be dead.
For a bit of context, Venus was a YouTuber who faced abuse from her mother and suffered from an eating disorder. Anissa struggles to understand what she's been going through and makes other bizarre statements.
No. Oh, fuck.
I don't know.
I want to kill something now. I want to. Something's life will end with me. You gotta give me a handgun, but not the handgun I want.
Boyfriend and husband? Are you a boy?
Anissa herself briefly alludes to having an eating disorder, which she made a video about less than a year prior. She claims she's been struggling
Ray
with
gun,
anorexia
of
and
course
body
it's the
dysmorphia
ray gun.
disorder for
Get
much
this
of her
shit out of
life,
here.
discussing how she could barely function at times.
Where
This
did
is
it go?
weird, because
There it
apparently
is.
much of her stories take place in college, where she would have been heavily involved in sports and considering police training. A week later, she posts another video about her OCD diagnosis, which some were suspicious of. She implies she was fully diagnosed by a school therapist, which isn't usually allowed unless they were highly trained. When asked about this in a now deleted comment thread, she struggles coming up with a good explanation. Kinda weird for her to laugh at and question someone else's eating disorder, yet lash out to those doing the same to her. If she wants to make jokes about other people like that, go ahead. But don't act like you're some inspirational person spreading positivity to your fans. Also, I don't think someone of BDD would be posting so many revealing photos of themselves online. In a stream in late 2018, Anissa started talking about
I
controversial
kind of want to give
cosplayer
up on the
homophobia.
Tenderizer, I'm not gonna lie.
Basically, this individual was accused of sexually harassing other cosplayers at conventions, and then blamed it on ADHD.
Where the
Anissa tries
fuck
to
did
not
my
to
gun
defend
go?
Momo, but it
Bro.
comes across as
Oh, there it
doing
is.
so since she downplays it.
With it happening, like she just received so much fucking hate, and
No, bro.
yeah, I just
So
think that
annoying.
as a content
Everything
creator,
except
people
what I
that,
want.
like a couple of commentary YouTubers decide to hate you, you're pretty much fucked.
Weird take, but okay. I'm willing to hear her out. However, the next example of a flawed person being unnecessarily hated by the commentary community is Lion Maker of all people.
Wasn't Lion Maker a pedophile?
Even when
Like, wasn't
Lion
it?
Maker, whatever his name was accused of pedophilia, like it gave me a lot of anxiety because
Or wait, no,
I feel
Lion
like
Maker
a
was the
lot
good
of it
one,
is
wasn't he?
based on
I don't remember.
fiction,
Oh
not a lot
fuck,
of
it's been
fact,
so long,
and,
and
like,
I don't
if
want
the
to.
person really
I don't want to
isn't
say
as
anything
bad as
because
what
I
they
don't
think it is,
know.
which most of the time they're not. Then you're just watching people
Oh my
rip
God.
apart somebody that maybe doesn't deserve it.
Oh my
as
God.
much as,
Oh my
like,
God.
I
Oh
don't
my
know,
God.
it's
Oh
just
my
sad
God.
to
Oh
see
my God.
somebody get ripped apart.
Oh my
Probably
fucking
the
God.
worst example
It's
you can bring
over,
up.
dude. It's
If you don't
over.
remember who Lion Maker is, he's a former YouTuber known for making Minecraft Let's Plays.
It's
Around
so
2015, he got
over.
accused of grooming multiple different minors, which there was a decent bit of evidence
I've got
for.
it. It's done.
However, the real kicker was that in December 2015, Lion Maker would basically admit to trading inappropriate material with a minor.
Oh, so he did.
Posted an image of her naked to his Twitter. In his interview with Colossal's Crazy a year later, he confirmed that this did happen, but says he doesn't
Okay.
know how it happened, which is bullshit. It's not
Do you
what
deny
happened.
that a picture of this girl?
I haven't heard anything about Colossal. Did he leave the internet?
A rectum was posted on your Twitter account. Let's just state it out how it is. That is
No, I do not deny it. I do not deny it.
Who posted this picture?
That is something that I cannot say. I do not know. It's impossible for me to start pointing fingers at someone and saying...
Speculate.
concrete- No, I
on Twitter.
I don't wanna
However,
listen to
Anissa
that.
would
I don't like
start
listening
shit-talking him
to-
on stream for no reason at all. Sky would then DM iDubbbz about this to figure things out,
What?
but got ignored.
What happened?
Anissa then said this on stream 2 hours later.
No,
I give a
bro.
shit that Sky is such a
No, you
fucking
gotta be shitting me. It can't have.
manipulative piece of shit that he just blows wherever the wind blows. So that's cool. It's a fucking.
Oh,
it's,
thank
it's
God.
really hypocrite. I hate hypocrites,
Oh,
man.
thank
So,
God.
Anissa now
I was
uploads a
so
video
I was
about
so
the
pissed.
situation.
I was gonna be so
I'm not
upset.
sure if his girlfriend had anything to do with it. Hey, look, hands are clean of it. Used to be friends with her. I found out someone showed me like hella stream highlights.
Please
of
don't
her
tell me it
talking
took
the
me
meanest
my
shit to
save
me.
right before I got the PM9. I'm going to. I'd literally lose my mind.
Then I cried to her in DMs. And no, I don't mean, I was drunk and I literally cried. I'm sobbing to her. And she's like, oh, well, I just thought she was a tool, but now, wah. And then she talking shit. 2 weeks later, nigga. Then I said, nah, I ain't gonna cry in your DMs again, bitch.
Now this guy Williams guy seems overly sensitive, but Anissa allegedly described him as a valuable piece of shit in a now deleted stream, so... And for the icing on top,
That's a
here's another clip
fucking
from that Lion
snake
Maker
move,
stream.
dude.
This is really bad. Yikes takes. Why is it bad? It's bad that I'm trying to be a reasonable human being and I think we like hate people way too aggressively online that don't really deserve it. I just think like people want to hate on people and demonize them for things that aren't even real.
By this point in her career, Anissa seemed to disregard others around her and would say whatever the fuck she wanted to get attention. My theory is that
Yeah.
she didn't care about saying stupid shit because she had the reputation of her boyfriend.
I think it's fucked.
Who dare
I think
an
it's fucked.
exposed video on the
Oh,
girlfriend of Mr. Content
maybe
Cop.
not.
This brings up the craziest thing she's ever said during this era: the Holocaust.
Maybe not.
statements.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives justified? That's a really hard question, and I think if people are being 100% honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting.
Oh, I
As
can
terrible as
run.
the Holocaust was, obviously,
So I don't have any guns.
like disgusting the doctor was. That
Oh,
he
okay,
did
I do have
experiments
guns. Oh, it took my fucking thing.
People, gay people,
No,
with
bro.
handicaps, twins.
No, it took my fucking gun, bro.
And obviously
No, the one thing I wanted to keep from that. Fuck me, of course.
Groundbreaking discoveries
Fuck.
through that experimentation.
It's gonna be so fucking long now before I get another one.
Conducted by Nazi scientists were not done for scientific discoveries, so they were a way to torture people. I mean, the notes taken were literally just gibberish. Nothing of importance was discovered. This clip in general is such a bad look for her, and will get mentioned quite a bit over the next several years. So much so that Anissa had to address it in a recent podcast episode.
It's so fucking oh my god, dude, really?
Fucking stupid.
It has to crash right before I get to what I was needed.
Somebody asked like like something about the Holocaust and like whether or not there was like good that came out of it or whatever. And I prefaced it very heavily. I was like, the things that happened during the Holocaust were horrific. The experiments that happened were horrific. And then this was like the big mistake was like, but there were things that came out of it that like, which I found out now is complete propaganda. Nothing good came out of those experiments. They didn't actually find anything. And I was trying to like have this like ethical, and I was like, some people would say that. I said some people
True, you did. I do
would
remember
say that.
that.
Because I don't agree with it. I was just trying to play the ethical.
You're
like,
playing that game.
Yeah,
which,
of like
yeah, a
this
lot
is
of
conversation that some people have had, and I've heard this exact conversation.
That fucking shitty IDubs take where he won't push her at all. He never pushes her on anything.
And it sounds smart. And that clip, like, it has been shared.
Yeah,
so
it
I've been
should
told
have.
that I'm,
It
like, a
you
Nazi
fucking
sympathizer, that I like deny the Holocaust. I've had people like, and, that is like by far the most painful.
fuck that.
Like that, I heavily regret that.
I feel like what she's saying is a half-truth, which makes me doubt her honestly. Unless this clip was taken out of context, which I don't think it is. Why can't she just take full responsibility for it? She just made excuses like, oh, I learned this in a university setting, and my chat baited me to saying it. You're a grown adult. You can ignore questions and just move on. And if we're going to go on a high horse,
Now there's gonna be massive pauses. The first time you run the match, you'll get consistent spawns of manglers every round. But if you reload the save, sometimes it gives weird pauses. Like you'll have rounds where manglers just don't spawn. Like this round didn't have a mangler, and probably the next one won't have a mangler either.
Time was actually able to put together cohesive arguments relating to edgy topics, and also didn't try to come
Which
across
is,
as some
you
sort
know,
of
it's
intellectual.
fine.
He didn't take himself seriously and was, you know, actually funny. Anissa is legitimately trying to sound smart, and comes off as a dumbass because she has never been self-aware. This is especially evident in her debate with Vegan Gains in November 2018.
Didn't she get fucked over by Vegan Veins? Or Vegan Veins? The fuck? Didn't Vegan Gains fuck her so hard?
In a stroller, especially when they're crying. I just want to put my foot through the fucking thing and step
Oh,
on it.
never mind.
So it's nothing but blood and pulp on the fucking pavement.
Honestly, debating this guy could have been a slam dunk for Anissa, but
It should have
I
been.
predict how well she did here. She basically spends the entire debate prefixing her arguments with, I feel like, not actually going off a legit fact she can use against Richard.
I feel like, because I feel like I.
Now, even though I don't agree with a lot of veganism, I still have to admit that Richard does an incredible job here. He actually brought up sources and can properly debate Anissa, while she fumbles around and says loads of nonsense. At one point, she says she doesn't think society caters to vegan diets, which is hilarious as this bitch frequents California, one of the most vegan states in America.
Yeah.
And that simple fact, which is a fact, and if you want to find studies for that fact, go ahead. But like, our society does not cater towards a vegan diet. Therefore, it's less convenient than a non-vegan diet.
You're arguing against yourself here. So first you claimed that, well, a lot of the reason why vegan populations are meat
fucking
eaters is
teddy
because
bear,
they're
of
not
course.
eating processed garbage, they're not drinking, not smoking, and then you're actually advocating for a lifestyle where you go out and eat junk food and fast food.
She clearly didn't prepare for this and takes all of her anger out on Richard, saying he's the aggressive one here.
Okay, well, look, when you're complaining that I'm pointing out logical fallacies that you're making, that sounds to me like you're uncomfortable with me actually making arguments.
We're good. I'm so at that point. If this is your view of winning, which is talking very aggressively for a period of time.
He's not even aggressive. What?
Won, man. Like,
I've made arguments. Well, no, I've made arguments and presented evidence. You haven't. So yes, I have won on that basis alone.
Well, then there you go.
Okay.
So you agree that you don't have any evidence for your claims, and your arguments are completely logically inconsistent?
Bro,
If you
he's
don't agree on that, I
sheesh.
want to continue this conversation.
He's fucking
I
shit
don't
on her. Oh
misrepresent
my
your views.
god.
I actually am interested in having an honest conversation about this.
Yeah, I'm done.
Remember, this
She's
is the same
fucked.
chick who tried arguing about the semantics of certain slurs, and thought ISIS isn't real because her Muslim father is too nice a person. By this time, many began noticing Anissa's antics, with a group known as Parafax archiving her worst
Oh, thank
moments.
God.
This would lead
Oh,
to
you gotta
YouTuber
be
Whitney
shitting
Empty
me.
releasing an exposed video on her, which currently has almost 700,000 views. In that video, she shows a clip that pretty much sums up Anissa's thought process.
I've been scrolling through my own Twitter feed, and I'll read something, and I'll be like, fuck, I need to unfollow this guy. And then I'll go to his page, and then it says 400k followers, and then it says, Sky follows you. And my inner piece of shit goes, this is an important human being. I shouldn't unfollow him. I should
Just back
put
and
up with
forth
it,
and back and
or at
forth
least
and back
mute
and
him.
forth. The cuckening of idubs. Oh.
Now, most people began hearing about Anissa in early 2020 due to an infamous tweet. I'm very excited to announce my Loot OnlyFans launch. Check me out in the link below. I'm very excited to provide cute cosplay photos
That's
and
so
more.
fucked.
Many in iDubbbz fanbase began making jokes and memes. Many began referring to iDubbbz as a simp, since most guys wouldn't be fond of their girlfriend showing their assholes to the entire internet. He actually handled the situation pretty well at first, tweeting, I'm done fuckers, I'm done. No more Mr. Nice Simp. Most people would have moved on from this, but then Ian shot himself in the foot and released the video, Sex Workers, iDubbbz Complains. It starts out with Ian saying he's fine with the memes, but has a problem with the more critical fans of his. One of these fans is a 15-year-old who made a parody tweet, which Ian seems to think
Bad
is
luck.
real.
Oh, fuck,
He
it's
then
this one.
criticizes
I remember the
YouTuber
shit.
Cozy for thinking OnlyFans will greatly affect someone's career, which is true.
And then future jobs, they might be a little bit harder to come by.
I think this is one of the most important opinions to highlight because it really demonstrates a severe lack of real-world experience when you're saying that future jobs are going to be harder to come by because of an
Yes.
OnlyFans account. Like, if you think this affects your standing or your social
It absolutely
credibility
does.
in getting jobs, you are so sadly
Any company that runs a
This is
background
dumb.
check is going
People who disagree
to
with
be able to see that
then
shit.
Okay, but he's pretending as if that stigma doesn't exist in the first place. Though to be fair to Ian,
Oh,
he
it's
does
back
have some
here
decent
again,
points in this
dude.
video. His main one is the dismantlement of the hypocrisy allegations.
It's because he's a hypocrite. He makes content cop and targets people, but he himself has girlfriend whoring herself, and he does nothing about it. You think these fucking retards would actually do a smidgen of research? Because, like, I did it, and I found the
fucked me
potential
with a
hypocrisy
toothbrush.
in what I say in the past, and it's pretty fucking consistent. The funding for the slut shirt is actually very, very low. Skanktown. Skanktown, USA. Softcore porn all over the walls. Pretty nice, huh? You know, like, I'm not saying that women should be sexualized or shouldn't be. I'm just saying that there is the market for it, so it makes sense that they would do it. I would say skank and slut, but never was that part of my argument. It's just flavor. It's just flavor. Like, in the future, I'll probably say slut and skank again.
The only other hypocrisy people could name at the time was the iDubbbz green screen video, which is also pretty weak. None of these videos signify any sort of past hatred or criticism of sex work. However, there is an instance of this that Ian has never addressed. Enter Zoe Berger. Zoe was a prominent Twitch
Oh,
streamer
shit.
around 2016.
I didn't
She
even
got
think of
big
Zoe
for
Berger.
basically being one of the first popular e-girls. She's basically the mid-2010s equivalent of Amaranth or Strawberry Tabby. She orchestrated fake beef with Keemstar, leading to an appearance on the Baited podcast.
Just like what works for me is shaking my ass and making self-deprecating
problem-
jokes and dealing
Yeah,
with
but the
people who call
problem-
me a pedo. So how are you gonna come at me like that?
Let me say one thing. Let me say
But
one thing, though. Clown,
trivializing
clown, listen,
pedophile
listen.
allegations, yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, do you want to spank me for it, Daddy?
For
Now you're trying to
Basically, around 2016, Anissa and Zoe were friends, and the latter invited Anissa to take part in a scarce video. In this video, Zoe and her friends would be twerking on him in lingerie, which Anissa was apparently down for. However, she decided to not do it.
Anissa
and
is a
referred to
fucking
Zoe and
clout
her friends
goblin.
As the Ho Squad.
I never wanted to join Zoe's Ho Squad.
In response,
You absolutely did. Don't even fucking lie. What do you mean?
But apparently 2 tweets wasn't enough for this girl. You were supposed to come and hang out with me and Celestia after you begged Celestia. I have the Skype screenshots. You begged her to come hang out with me. I didn't know her or you, but she pulled you a favor so that you could come hang out with us. I said yes because why not? The more the merrier. You backed out because iDubbbz tells you it's a bad idea to associate with me. Then you proceed to go on for the next couple of weeks and tweet about me every now and then, talking crap. I don't know if you're trying to provoke me or if you just honestly believe all the things you're saying, because if you tried to provoke me, you did it. Congratulations, it worked. I'm fucking making a video Keemstar style at your ass. However, you listened to iDubbbz's advice over the bond of friendship that you had with Celestia and eventually regretted that because just a week later you posted a parody video of the scarce video you were supposed to be in if you had not been a flake. Now, you know, there's no problems there, but then you start coming at me about how I don't change my bras or something, like that's even relevant. Why don't we talk about something that's completely irrelevant to you? How about we talk about why your boyfriend won't promote anything about you? Is he trying to keep your ass a secret? Why? Is he one of the biggest fucking YouTubers and he can't help your ass out? I think you picked the wrong side. You should have come and hung out and facilitated making friends, but instead you decided to be a snake, hop on his fucking dick for more whatever you think perceived celebrity, and failed.
These are the Skype messages Zoe was talking about, and Anissa definitely seemed down for it. Now I couldn't find a parody
Anissa
video
is a
Anissa
fucking
made, but she
snake.
did end up releasing a video on her YouTube channel about Zoe.
She's a clout chasing
This was
fucking
released 2 weeks
goblin,
after the
obviously.
drama, where she criticizes her for wanting to create a female esports team. Now some of the criticism is pretty valid, but she definitely only made this as a fuck you to Zoe.
She can say whatever the hell she wants about creating equal opportunity or getting back at the male population for suppressing and oppressing women. That's bullshit and we all know it. The reason why she doesn't want a girl who's 200 pounds on her team is because she wants to market the shit out of these girls. She wants to beat these horses until they're dead. She could care less what the ramifications are in the esports community for women. And that's a problem. We do not want this being the face of esports for women. We don't. It is disgusting. It is nasty. You are nasty. This whole thing is nasty.
The top comment reads, "The fame that she is creating isn't about girl power or promoting legitimately strong girl gamers. It's about using sexuality to draw attention. In and of itself, that isn't a problem. But when that's the only asset to fame, then it hurts the industry. And it hurts women, who work very hard to compete in a world that already stigmatizes them as boobs of a controller. Soak in that irony, boys. It's palpable tonight." Anissa has always given Zoe loads of shit for showing her body, which is funny because Anissa showed just as much of her body at the time and shows way more of it now. Remember earlier when I said that Anissa was secretly insecure while being a booby streamer? Well, that insecurity has increased tenfold ever since she started her OF, and she's basically transferred some of that to Ian. In that sex workers video, Ian blatantly said that he's fine with people making edgy jokes about him being a simp, and Anissa taking lewd photos.
A good amount of people are just doing the reasonable thing and just making jokes and laughing about it.
But Ian and Anissa clearly don't think that anymore, as they now see these sorts of jokes as downright misogynistic. In Ian's Froggy Fresh video, he heavily criticized Tyler for making such jokes, where he compares OF girls to being escorts.
And he was gonna win. Like, I don't know if they're giving. I think they give away like OnlyFans girls there at these events. I don't know what kind of sponsorships going on. Like, if you win certain fights, I think you get to own some of these girls for some of the nights.
Awesome.
I don't know how it works, but I think Chris was like he had plans to go beat up a nerd and whatever, however they get to like lease one of these girls, and so like. He got there. Well, Ian was probably thinking like, because I think, man, I need to stop all this.
No, Froggy, keep going. I think you should keep going. I think the women of the world need to hear your opinions on these things. Talk more about how sex workers are property. That's a funny joke. It was super funny the third time that you referred to women as property. That was the funniest one. Because when you said lease, I was like, yeah, I know what a lease is. Even if you didn't do any of the Sam Hyde stuff, why would we want you at our event? Like, if you're just gonna blatantly disrespect sex workers and women and other fighters,
Oh,
saying
yeah,
that they're
no.
here to touch ethos, like, it is so disrespectful and shitty. I don't want to share the space with you. I don't want other people to be uncomfortable because you're
I don't
there.
think it was that. I think it was his Anissa comments. I don't think it was necessarily his actual opinion.
I like how he has to lump sex workers and women in the same sentence to make it appear some sort of sexist.
I don't know. It was a while ago. It was his comments on. He made a couple of comments about iDubbbz and Anissa. I think that was what pushed it more. I don't think it was the actual. I don't think he really cared.
15. If I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
If you want to criticize Froggy for being unfunny, then do it. But don't label him a misogynist just because you're offended by it.
Oh yeah, the site's lower, isn't it?
I think that Froggy, a married guy with kids, hates women, but that's the only insult these e-girls know. To call their opponents incels or whatever, not realizing that those are usually their main demographic. On her podcast of Caseytron and Denims, Anissa began talking about what she thinks is the worst type of audience to have.
I think, like, honestly, like, young male audiences are the fucking worst audiences on the planet, by far.
You mean your audience?
I think that
On
it's
OnlyFans?
a way to get a bag really quickly, but I think everybody grows to regret it that, like, specs into that audience.
I don't know if she's just purposely being retarded, but she just described her own audience. Young men are the only ones paying $10 a month to look at her holes. I mean, let's be real. The only person outside of that demographic who masturbates to her OF is Denims.
Oh, this picture is really good. It is not easy to pull off, like, white hair. And I think she does a really good job. I think she pulls it off really well.
Similar to Caseytron, Anissa also has a habit of blandly referring to her haters as incels, even trying to lure them out. All this does is lures out the guys with actual self-respect, and keeps in the loser simps with infatuations for her. She uses this as a quick and easy way to dismiss her critics, instead of actually engaging with their arguments.
I'm so tired of this dude.
Ashley sucks at debates worse than Noah Sampson. So what does her family think about this? Well, her mother is obviously fine with it. As seen in those tweets I showed earlier, her father, meanwhile, has been dealing with Alzheimer's for the past few years.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson went to university with my dad.
Oh,
They're
did
both
he?
psychology majors at the U of A at the same time.
What does your dad think about him?
I mean, I don't know.
Is that the song?
Got Alzheimer's out the ass, so I could ask him, but he'd probably just...
It'd be a
not
funny answer.
It'd be a funny answer, probably.
Yeah.
He's Muslim, and probably wouldn't be too fond of his daughter doing adult content, though that's just speculation. Anissa likes using his faith and ethnicity whenever relevant, bringing it up during her livestream with Ian and Hassan Piker.
Honestly,
Also,
I'm gonna
like,
leave.
There's just a lot of things that Ian had never.
I'm gonna head off here.
Understood. Like he had never met a Muslim before, and then he ended up marrying one. But like that was something that really changed. I
Alhamdulillah.
feel like, alhamdulillah. That's but
Bismillah,
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah.
I taught him the Fatiha. But that there's a video of him chopping a Quran in half. And when my dad was still mentally sane, I was terrified that he was going to find that video of Ian. He's like,
What the fuck is in the battle pass?
Yeah, he chops
Wait,
the
what? Is there
Quran
new
in
battle
half with a
pass shit?
cleaver. And I was like, oh my
Page
god, my dad
14.
never
What the
fucking
fuck is
sees
this?
that.
It
My
was
dad
less intentional. It was more just random unboxing, and I'm just, you know.
Sorry.
Oopsie.
That would get you, like, literally. My dad was
Moveset, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm right to assume he wouldn't be happy. Anissa only seems to refer to herself.
Wow,
as
I love
Muslim
CP. I mean,
as she once made a now deleted
I love
video called
CP.
Why I Left Islam.
At 16 years old, I sat my dad down
300,
basically telling him that I no longer wanted to be a part
400.
of Islam. I didn't want to be Muslim anymore, and I just wanted to be agnostic or
500.
spiritual. I don't really know what the word is, and he did not take it fantastic.
600.
Now, I understand why he wouldn't take it fantastic, because to him, this means that I'm going to hell. This is one of the worst things that could ever happen to him.
Okay,
as a
so
parent,
I get
and I think in a lot of
700
ways he blamed
more
himself
CP.
because he married my mother, who was a Catholic who converted to Islam, and his father
How much
always
is
warned
the
him
battle
that
pass right now?
that would mean that we would come out atheist. My dad didn't believe him, and I guess being faced with the reality of things was really hard on him. And it was a very
1100,
difficult
and I
time
can't
for
just
our
buy
She
what,
still refers to
200?
herself as Muslim, though, which heavily contradicts this. And for those thinking the term Muslim refers to race, not religion, Muslim
Oh, you
refers
can.
to
Okay.
a follower of the religion of Islam. In her own words, Anissa is not that. I mean, she engages in some downright degenerate
I need to get the $10 one just because I'd like to be able to buy the next battle pass as well.
Shit like this is why people refer to Ian as a cuck.
But,
What
yeah.
guy would be perfectly fine if his significant other posting that
Let me
stuff
go
on the
equip
same
all
day
my
they're getting
new
married? This happened in June
diamonds.
2021, with a couple having one of those shitty Vegas weddings. Ian would then legally change his last name.
What the hell is this?
Oh, he changed his last name?
He's taken her last name. They married in June, with iDubbbz' last name changed from Washburn to Joma. My brother, oh man.
Man, I want to chat right now.
While many saw the OnlyFans controversy as the beginning of the end for iDubbbz, in reality, it was the same high drama. In spring of 2021, Ian filmed a documentary of controversial comedian Sam Hyde.
Oh
which
fuck,
didn't turn
this
out
was
well
the one
for
where he
him.
got punked
In
on
fact,
it.
he
I
pretty much
remember
had no
this
plans
shit.
of releasing it, at least until Sam himself put out his own version of the documentary in January 2022. According to him, he released what footage he had to recoup on the $15,000 he spent for it, and to entertain his fans. Now that people knew about it, Ian had no choice but to release his version, which came out a month later. Now I won't go too deep into this drama in this video, so go watch my
This was it's literally all you can do is use this thing.
Sam knew Ian was trying to make some sort of hit piece, so he decided to troll him a little bit. He made a document that features loads of lighthearted gags.
Joey, can you open up the iDubbbz gaslighting document? Flip the breaker and pretend the power is out. Sam insists we keep working and gets really mad. Work on pen and paper.
Okay, that's funny as fuck.
Buy fake Beeple NFTs. Jet was in the corner on the Xbox the whole time. Yeah, I know, that's fine. Scroll down, what else we got?
I would have done that too.
It
I would have
is-
taken that job.
It is slowly
Xbox all
revealed
day.
Sam is an adult baby and eats applesauce and baby food in private. Pacifier. Sam temper tantrum. I wanted to go karting. We didn't go karting. We rented the slingshot though.
What they ended up doing was renting out an old dentist's office to
That's
be their
fucking
headquarters,
hilarious.
hiring a fake bodyguard, constantly unboxing Legos, and boxing under an old bridge. The biggest was hiring a cracked out looking woman to play Sam's girlfriend, which fooled Ian to the point that he actually believed she was being abused. This was revealed to be false in the interview, though iDubbbz seemed more pissed than glad, since he couldn't use this against Sam now. Some theorize that Sam intentionally made Danny into a mirror of Anissa, both being crazy, tattooed girls.
Alright, I'm gonna head out now,
trying to explain
because
Sam's humor,
it's
while also acting
late,
like the joke police at times.
and
Both
it's
videos were received
been,
quite well.
I mean, I'm gonna head out because it's been late. I got a lot of progress done. I'm 30 out of 33 now. Let me go edit that real quick before I get off. That'll be my final little thing that I've got. And then I can get done with this tomorrow. I can make a new directed mode with starting with the PM9, which won't be too bad. I mean, since I don't have the issues that loading into a directed mode will, so I get a regular every round. So PM9. I can do PM9 and then the two SMGs, to be honest. Because that's pretty much full things. I technically don't have to do the power drill, but I do have to do the power drill. Because I have to do, I think Afterlife requires you have all opals in that class, right? I think so. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, once I get 30 out of 30, or 33 out of 30, 33, it'll be straight shot all the way to Nebula, because Afterlife is not that difficult, to be honest. I can just do the same thing I've always been doing, but it's way faster because I can just, just mow through them. And that's like, it's 38 zombies per wave, so that's what, 1.5 medals for that. So that's just like, if it's like 3 minutes per wave, add the max, 30. $33 per gun? No, wait. So 18 minutes per gun. That's not accounting for anything that's like, you know, a wall buy. A wall buy, I'm gonna wait for wall buys to do them last, so I don't have to dig through the box like this again. But the PM9, yeah, it should be pretty easy. It's 18 minutes per gun, 33 guns. That's what, 10. Oh, 540. 594 minutes. That's not bad. 594 minutes is... Oh, it's 10 hours, bro. It's 10 hours just of straight gun shooting the whole time. Honestly, yeah. I already feel kind of whacked out with this one. It didn't feel... No, I don't think it should take that long, to be honest. I don't think they take... I'll think it's more like a minute and a half, to be honest. Which that cuts it down to still 5 hours. Which is, you know, for 33 guns, that's manageable, I think. And some guns go really fast, so. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.